Welcome. My name is Douglas Getz, and you've found your way to the Diving and Thriving podcast. Here, we have enlightening conversations about how we can better navigate this sometimes crazy world we live in. From refreshing spiritual perspectives to tips about personal growth, the focus here is about how we can become better human beings. So I'd like to thank you for being here today, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome, Mr. John Speich.
What up, Dougie?
I'm happy to have you finally on the Diving and Thriving podcast, man. It's good. I'm happy to have you and your daughter, Ellie.
Yeah. Say hi, Ellie.
She's not
She's
ready.
shy.
That's good, man. Yeah, so just introduce you a little bit. You and I have been good friends since back in 2012, I would say.
Earlier than that.
Earlier than that, 2011?
Yeah.
No, back when I was a junior and you were a senior going into senior year in high school. And then
No, I was still a junior when you showed up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is right. Yeah.
Yeah, because me, you, and Jared left before your junior year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you in the squat rack in the weight room. And then you were saying, oh, it's so much harder for big guys to do squats because we have so much more room to cover.
Yeah.
Going down and up.
Sorry, a disadvantage.
Yeah.
That end bench.
Say that again?
Said that end bench.
Yeah. That's good, man. Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure knowing you for all these years too. Like we've had 7-8 years of friendship and it's been a pleasure, man. So
the godfather to my firstborn.
I know, godfather to little Ellie. It's great.
Yeah, right.
It's really been a pleasure getting to see you grow and kind of grow myself, but also see your family develop.
Yeah.
Started off with Max. Well, it started off with you moving over to PA, and then getting your own place, and then it was Max, and then Ellie, and then now it's Xander.
Yeah.
So, man. Max is your dog, so I don't think your oldest is someone else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he's doing good. He's napping somewhere around here.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good. Yeah. I'm really happy that I've said this pretty much every episode so far, but I'm happy I have this platform because I can get people that I know on it and kind of like because a lot of my friends, a lot of people I know have really good perspectives on life. And you're one of them too. And you give me a lot of great advice over the years. It's something that it's, I remember thinking one time not being sure of my decisions. I was like, I can default to what Speich says. That's nice. If I don't have a clear decision in my head, I can default to what he says.
Oh yeah. Like growing out your beard.
Yeah, that wasn't your thought, but trimming it up.
I always told you got to keep growing it out. You're like, nah, I like the smooth shape, and I'm like, nah, gotta grow it out.
Oh man, for some reason I don't remember that, but
I always told you that. That and getting a tattoo.
Yeah, still not there. It's good, man. Yeah, it's really been a pleasure being your friend for so many years. We've had so many great times at concerts and adventures and whatnot, lifting weights. And grow time. And, that's been a pleasure.
I mean, it's always likewise because I was just cleaning up our room and went into my my security box to find old business plans that you helped with a security business, and I was like, this is why I love this kid. Found all your notes and everything. I was like, I can actually read this.
That's good.
Good.
Yeah, we've been around in each other's lives for a long time. Like, I'm 24. I met you when I was barely 17.
Yeah,
so
I was just turned 17 when I met you.
I said I'm 24. Yeah.
Liar.
What?
Liar. Well, if that makes you younger. That means I'll be younger, and I'm back to being 26 instead of 27.
Yeah, we're not there. We passed that.
That ship has sailed and gone. It's so crazy because I heard a quote early this morning that right now is the youngest you'll ever be, and a second will be the oldest you ever are. And I'm like, wow.
Wow. That's an interesting way to look at it. I've never looked at it as this is the youngest you'll ever be. It's like,
well, like in this moment, this is the youngest you'll ever be.
Yeah.
Because then you just keep gradually getting older and older and older.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the flip side of that is that you're also the oldest you've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
In that same moment, you're the oldest you've ever been.
Yeah. And it's the last time you're the youngest.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just gradually goes day by day.
Yeah, it's a constant game of being the youngest and also being the oldest.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I remember looking back, like I can't wait to be 21. I can't wait to do this or do that. And yeah, I think everybody goes through that. I can't wait till I'm this age. But yeah, and a lot of times we also got to be really aware to enjoy where we're at now.
Yeah.
And not like be too much in the future or like especially too much in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like that affects pretty much anybody.
I stopped really. I like to reminisce on funny situations, but I don't want to live back when I was younger because I like to build forward and have more of a mindset of building an empire for my kids to have a great portfolio of seeing that their dad's like, my dad can do this, my dad's successful with that. I'm talking about learning credit and doing everything else to help them have a step in life because as a lot of people say, we're drowning in debt once we get older. So I want to stop the floodgates for my kids to have a better platform to step off of.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that's great. And I think that's true too. Like I think
a
lot of times you do end up drowning in debt.
Yeah.
Whether it's through whether it's through college loans, which can get up to like $200,000. A place like Penn State, and you're from out of state, it's easily $50,000 a year.
And the worst part is that a high percentage of those people, they end up switching or not doing whatever they're doing, so they're just drowning in debt for no reason.
Yeah, that's
because a lot of them they go for. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand, but like accounting or like they don't even know what they did. They just floated in 4 years, become real estate or just some type of marketing person. So they're just paying for something that they didn't even have to go to school for. They could have spent out $3,000 in order to get certifications and a license and did it that way.
Yeah, it's and that's really possible. Like also the same point on that is a lot of times they are just looking for some degree to get into it. But that's an interesting aspect of college is that a lot of times the degree you go down isn't the field you're in. And so
I mean, I'm a prime example, but I mean, I didn't really sit there and drown myself in debt. I kind of figured early they're like, all right, go for football, go for criminal justice. And then today, going back to cleaning out my security box, I just threw out applications that I had written up for police academies. I was like, well, my business is set to launch in this upcoming spring. So
yeah, your landscaping business, right?
Yeah. And then hopefully getting my first by the fall, hopefully getting our first rental property. That's the goal. Yeah.
Way to go.
Buying a duplex. Yeah.
Way to go. Yeah. Seriously. I'll help you any way I can. What's up, Ellie?
Say hi, Uncle Doug.
Oh.
So we're watching Ryan.
Ryan.
The 8-year-old child who makes $30 million a year.
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Just for reviewing toys. That's the thing is that like that kid's gonna be set for the rest of his life.
And he hasn't even started.
You don't have to answer to anybody, which is the best thing. You don't have to meet new people. You don't have to listen to your own boss. Like that's the lifestyle that I feel like a lot of kids our generation, we're not kids anymore, but people in our generation are starting to look forward to and prosper to and just like, hey, I want to be my own boss.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and that, so I'm guessing, like, and I know you well, and that was a lot of the reason you switched from choosing to be police officer, corrections officer, to
Yeah.
being like your own boss, landscaping your own business and
Yeah.
investments.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like my heart was out of it anymore because, especially with everything going on, I feel like I would be part of the statistics with not watching my mouth and, you know,
Yeah.
people getting physical with you and then you get a little physical back and me giving my size. People are going to
Yo.
take that to the overmax and just be like, oh my God, he's hurting this person. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job. I don't want to be a paid babysitter to take care of somebody and twiddle my thumbs without and not being happy working 16 hours a day where I could just be my own boss and make double that
Yeah.
and listen to nobody besides myself and make people happy at the same
And
time
make people happy and be
and
happy
come
yourself.
home. Yeah. And most importantly, watch my kids. I can come home and watch them practice, grow up and not be exhausted and spend time with Miranda.
Yeah.
You know, we can grow together where she could stay home, make sure our kids are being successful, growing up, and having somebody there instead of somebody that they don't know as a third party taking care of them, changing their diapers, teaching them this, teaching them that.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
really like kind of refined your priorities. Like
I mean, it's the right age to do because I don't want to be 35 years old and just being like, oh my God, because you got to think I did the math. I'll be 43 when my last kid is out of high school,
yeah.
just turning 43 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what am I going to do for that? Because then that just holds them back. Because if their dad doesn't know what to do, what are they going to know what to do? Like
Yeah.
I've been getting so in depth with it that I want them to have good credit when by the time they're 18, they're both now on my one credit card, both 1% shareholders of it. So now they're authorized users. So when I make a payment, their credit score goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just that like I wish my parents did that
Yeah.
or taught me wisdom of money and credit because you're nobody. Cool, you can make a lot of money, but you're nobody without credit.
Yeah.
And that's just been hitting me a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very valid point. And it's
Mhm.
we're at so much more of an advantage when we get taught these things from a dad or a father figure or a mother figure,
Yeah.
somebody who takes an interest with us and has time for us to be able to
Yeah.
teach us these things and the knowledge to teach us these things. A lot of times parents don't have this knowledge,
Hmm.
so they can't pass down what they don't have. But it's
Hmm.
definitely the right move. And
Yeah. I
priority
see
shift.
it.
Like a lot of times, like, and the worst situation would be in is you turn 35 and you're like, oh shit, my daughter is what,
Yeah.
15, like 13 years old, however old she'll be, and you
Yeah.
say, man, I've just lost 8 years of time trying
Yeah.
trying to get a paycheck, which is valid for a lot of people.
Yeah. And
But
that's a big, and that also like it helps with them as growing mentally and growing a relationship with your kid, which is like my dad was the coach. My dad was there at my practices. I was there to sign a game ball that I hit a home run or scored a touchdown or kicked a goal, you know? I was there. Not, oh, my dad's working.
yup,
I can hire people after a few years before they really kick into real sports to just be like, all right, go do this or have, another source of income with our properties that we can be owning soon.
yeah,
So I mean, that's the mindset as you said with Rich Dad Poor Dad. I listened to that book twice already.
you did,
Just yeah, just like all right, like how can I, like the dude was 9 years old when he learned this, Now look at him. He's
yeah,
worth $38 million
yeah,
just by doing nothing and being bankrupt by the age of 25.
yup,
But now he's a millionaire again.
yeah. Yeah, man, that's such a valuable thing, and like we're really
Hmm.
not taught about finances or financial intelligence,
Yeah,
like, which is why that book was actually a book that kind of pretty much changed my life or my view
yeah,
on things. So my
I
view,
know. You always told me.
yeah, my
I've
view on
always
things was to leave high school and become a high-paid engineer, and
yeah.
then I read that book and I was like, wait a minute, there are other options
But you could just do that on your own.
to
You could
live
be a
a
third
good life.
party to places.
Yeah, yeah, or be
You
a
could,
consultant, a business consultant to an engineering firm.
yeah.
Like there's so many routes, and that's like one of the really cool parts. I think a lot of people are waking up to the fact that there are a lot of routes out there. And
Yeah,
then,
but they think that, but then 90%, 92% of people are scared to take that first step because, as he said in his book, is that people are comfortable with a paycheck. They're comfortable with just like, all right, at this day, it's going to be there. At this day, my bills are going to be paid. They're just used to comfort. And that's what I like to take out as an advantage towards everything is that I'm not scared to get uncomfortable
yeah,
and grind and bust my ass to get where I need to. Because I mean, I did that since I was younger.
yeah,
Because you got to keep going.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
You've
why I
had
have
no
dedication
problem.
tattooed.
Yeah, really. Yeah, man, that is dedication. And you've had
Yeah,
no problem working yourself and supporting a household.
yeah.
I remember one time you were saying about the restaurant you were working at, and I was looking through the training manual, and I
Hmm.
was like asking you about questions about it and things, and you said this is my rent right here, and I take this shit seriously. Like this puts a
Yeah.
roof over my head, so there's no joking around with this.
Hmm.
So I need to take this. I take this shit seriously, and
Yeah.
you're 100% right too.
Yeah.
And then the aspect of being able to kind of take the risks, being able to push yourself and, and do the things that you need to do to be able
Hmm.
to get to where you want to be. And the fact is,
Yeah.
taking that risk, a paycheck is comfortable.
Hmm.
Like, not gonna lie, paycheck is comfortable.
Yeah.
Like the risk or taking action is a lot of steps that a lot of people fall short of. And I'm an offender of that as well, or I'm somebody that falls victim to not taking action as well.
Yeah.
It's rough sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's
But
definitely something that's beneficial to get outside your comfort zone.
yeah. Well, that's the thing that was making me uncomfortable is that I was seeing that comfort spot was just, oh, I'm fine with this and I'm fine with that. The more fact is what started hitting my head is I'm more uncomfortable losing sleep. I'm more uncomfortable being that dad of where it's like, oh, I'm not at their sporting events or I'm not at their doctor's appointment. Like I want to be that guy who's always there. Or I don't want to be like, oh, where's John? Oh, he's working. That's why I couldn't come to a family event or Christmas or a birthday. Like I'm not about that. Like this year I made the most money I've ever been and I was there for my daughter's birthday, supplied everything for that. I was there for their doctor's appointments, their gymnastic class, like their swimming lessons. I was there because I'm not sitting there busting my ass day in and day out just to make sure that we're living comfortable. Because that's what made me uncomfortable because I was missing everything that's reliable to them. And right now, from ages from 1 to 4 is the most that sticks like glue in a child's head. My dad's here. My dad's there. My dad's here.
Right. Yeah.
You
Just to
know?
know you have that support.
Yeah.
You got someone in your corner. They're there. They're physically there. They're not
Yeah.
a phone call away. I mean, that's
Hmm.
important too. And if you can't be there,
Yeah.
a phone call away is the next best thing. But
Yeah.
you're
And I don't want to.
you're
I don't
physically
want to be a
there.
FaceTime dad.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And
Or oh, let me rewind this so I could see my Xander hit a home run or Ellie score a goal or complete a 9 out of 5 fucking flip in her gymnastics class. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
like I,
It's so much more valuable to be there. And that's one of the things that a lot of people miss is that
yeah.
the growth and being able to see your kids as well as
Hmm.
the development aspect of you just being there sets your kids
Yeah.
up for so much of a better future you wouldn't believe.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And you know me, I've always wanted to be a dad. So I'm all about family.
that's right. That's right, man. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you shoulder it well.
Yeah. I tried to. I
Yeah,
tried to make sure I make enough money so Miranda doesn't have to go to work anymore. She could just be her realtor, as we talked back earlier, and just work
yeah,
a few days and
yep,
sell a house, or
yeah,
we could be the first ones in sight on a house that's a good for the market and we could buy it under price and
yeah,
flip it.
yeah,
You know, I mean, this is the fastest growing market, especially in today's economy.
yeah. Real estate is
So, well, yeah, because a lot of people are failing. So it sucks to say, but sometimes you have to be that mean guy
yeah,
and you have to take a strong foot forward because a lot of people are folding as buyers but that the demand for renting and the market for renter, like renting, is going up. So you
Yeah.
want to be that renter just supplying those houses and be like, all right, you can rent this property, you can rent that property.
Yeah.
And then because of the supply so much, that means the pay's going up. So my $800 mortgage is good about to double because then you're going to pay that and I'm going to pocket another $800 on top of that.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it sucks to be like that, but it's my family over yours. And I'd rather be successful and I'm going to be lenient and just be like nice to people, but it's still my family. You're not going to play with money over my family because even though people are like, money isn't everything, money is power. Because how powerful do you feel when you can't pay your electric bill or pay your water bill? You're nobody because then you just sit in the corner and you cry. Been there, done that. I'm not trying to do that anymore. I stay away from that saying as, oh, money isn't everything. Money's everything to me. Because that sends my kid, as we talked yesterday, it's going to send them to a great school. Yeah, I'm going to pay for it, but I don't care. As long as she gets the best, it's going to put a roof over my house to give to my kids. You know, it's going to make me income. Where that's going to make me happy because it's going to take us on vacations. I'm going to spend time with my family and everything.
That's right. Yeah, man, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
And the way you go about it, and the interesting aspect is, like, even the people that are in those bad situations where they do need to get out of their real estate, their house that they're owning that they can't pay for anymore. I mean, you are providing relief to them.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, I'll purchase it from you. Like, yeah, they might have been in the wrong situation.
What's up, baby? Oh, Blippy? You want Ryan? Go grab the controller.
Yeah, that's great, man. Yeah, you know, and even there was a saying in I think Robert Kiyosaki said it, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, where it's easier to get into a bad deal than it is to get out of a bad deal. You can get into a bad deal really quick, but getting out of a bad deal is a lot tougher. And so what you're doing in purchasing these houses or these foreclosed properties or properties where people are starting to go under and they can't afford their mortgage anymore, you're providing relief to them. Believe it or not, you're providing an outlet to them because they're stuck. They owe already. Like, they purchased the house for $200,000. Now it's worth $150,000, and they can't afford the mortgage. So one way or the other, they got to get out of that deal. They got to get out of that house because it's not helping them. They're screwing themselves. They need to get into something that they can afford. Like, regardless of the situations, whether they like overspent in the beginning and under budgeted, or they didn't do their finances, or didn't run the numbers well, or like the market turned against them and they weren't able to stay afloat. I mean, regardless, they need to get out of it somehow. And if they don't get out of it, like, it's either somebody like you or me in the future purchases the house and helps them get out of it, or the bank forecloses on them. It's one or the other. Like, whether you're the one purchasing the house from them and you're getting it at a good deal, at a good price, or the bank is taking it back from them. Like, and then the flip side is, if you can't afford the taxes but you own the home, like, and the taxes just pile up, and then income tax.
And here's the shit under the stick. Somebody can go on an IRS page, pay your taxes, and guess what? It's coming down to percentages because it's going to be percentage is going to be added on that over time being.
Right. Yeah, dude. I was doing research back in. I almost bought some tax liens, but not taking action was what stopped me. But New Jersey, it's 18. A lot of states, certain states, I know New Jersey is 18% on a tax lien.
Yeah.
And then
and if they don't pay that, you own that property.
Exactly. Yeah, it may take some time. And one of the interesting things, because I went to a little seminar on it, is that if they don't pay it and it goes to the final date, a lot of times if they own a mortgage on the house, the municipality will go to the mortgage owner, because they got to send out notices to everybody. And the mortgage owner will say, okay, I'll pay that tax lien. So that they don't lose the house to the tax lien owner, but they end up owning the house.
Yeah, I'm not really like savvy on that end of like what happens if you do end up doing that? Where does that mortgage go? Do you take over that mortgage, or is that person still stuck with it on that house? Because the mortgage is not basically on the like it's what I take as mortgages that it's the house value, and then the person just shares that mortgage with the house. So it's on said house, but overshadows the person. So yeah, that house gets taken away, but the person's still owing that mortgage. So if you come in, pay on that house, don't you get the house? Are they still stuck with that mortgage? Or
That's
does the bank take the house?
that's
Because
a
I'm still
good
in stucky
question.
water with there.
That's a good question. I believe if the bank doesn't say that we'll pay this, I believe if they
Hmm.
don't say that, and I'm not 100% positive, I believe you do get the house.
Hmm.
But it's stupid for the bank not to pay whatever the price of the tax lien is
Yeah.
in order to get the house.
Hmm.
So it doesn't make sense financially for the bank to
Yeah.
let them not do anything about it.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're late on things. Sometimes they miss deadline dates or they don't sign a check, and
Yeah.
like administrative issues occur, and they like lose out.
Hmm.
Then the benefit of the tax lien owner, because I believe you do get that house without the mortgage, and then they're just
Yeah.
screwed. Or like if there was no mortgage on the house, then like you can
Yeah.
figure
What if
out something with the homeowner if you feel like you're like fucking them too bad. Like you could offer them a mortgage, or you can figure something out. And that's one of the nice things.
I don't think you can offer them a mortgage because I think after that point,
Yeah,
since they lose that house and a tax thing, I
yeah,
think the bank will just take them to court and basically just garnish a percentage of their wages. And it's funny because when we keep talking about percentages, it's just I listened to this religious guy who's like 6 years old. He's all about like the economy and building credit, how to pay this, how to start off doing that. And one of his segments today was about percentages.
yeah.
And a bad deal, percentages can ruin you because that's hundreds to thousands of dollars just by a 1% margin can ruin you.
Mm-hmm.
But percentages in a positive way can make you successful. Yes, baby.
Yeah.
You want peanut butter? Okay, I'll get you peanut butter.
All right, go get her peanut butter.
I'll just take you with me.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing that you realized or that you listened to.
Yeah.
Percentages are that big a deal.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's just I'm just trying to get out of this pandemic and
Yeah,
become stronger because I see it as an out to just keep going and build upon.
yeah, yeah.
I
And
mean,
you've done well. You've when did you start doing landscaping? Was that before the pandemic?
last spring, yeah, once it hit,
It was. Okay. Yeah, and you haven't really slowed down. I mean,
no,
people have been like need their lawns cut. People need their snow plowed.
yeah.
So yeah, you've been doing good. So good.
And when you start doing that, because we do we do people with like high income,
Yeah,
so we're in these rich neighborhoods, and the more people that you talk to, the more people that you can gain into your corner. Like, there's two people that I cut for. One guy's owned a bunch of property in Denver. And guess what he did? He just overheard people talking in the airport about this mining company that's close by. And there's like little shacks, and there's 250 of them. And the one guy was talking to his best friend, like how we talk about all the time. It's like, hey, if you put up half of this money and I put up the other half of money, we could buy this property with these homes on them and we could rent it out to the mining company for their miners. And the one guy, as I can relate to earlier, was scared to take that step because he took over the comfort of, hey, this is my family that I'm talking about. Like, if this doesn't go through, I have nothing. I'll lose everything. And the guy who I cut for turned around and said, I'll put up the money. I'll write a check right now. And right now, the dude's a millionaire. He there's 250 houses, $50 a night for these mining, and they are there all year round. So if you end up doing the math, dude's racking in $3-4 million a year.
Yeah.
And that's just his one part. And he lives in Pennsylvania, and he does business in Denver.
Yeah.
And this guy also owns a place in Newtown. It's called La Rue that we take care of. If he sells that right now, it's $4 million.
Is it a restaurant?
$5 million. No, it's an apartment complex. It's just run down on the corner in Newtown. People don't know Newtown. It's just like this little, like it's like a little.
It's a small town, but it's
very
Main Street,
very close. Like I can reach out and lay down, and I can touch the neighbor. That's how close everything is. And it's an apartment that has 12 complexes in it, and people can't even park. Some people have to park on the street because that's how small it is. But that can go to $4 to $5 million right now if he sold it, and it's crap.
It's crap.
It's crap.
Crap too.
But just the location where it's at and the historic value of it, he could just sell it for that. The person would have to put more money into it to fix it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked up because I helped an old lady move her Camaro. Lady's like 60, 70 years old riding in a Camaro that's souped up. I walk up there to give her her keys, and the floors are creaking. Like it smells like mildew in there. But $4 or $5 million this building's worth.
$5 million.
Yeah, give or take.
Damn. Yeah. That's crazy.
And this is just because he just came across it by accident.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to get into, because once that comes in, you got to think he's making his money by the time I think he's almost 40. He could wait until he's in mid 40s. Now accumulate another million or two on top of that for just the value. Sell that, move away, and live the rest of your life on that.
You really can.
Yeah.
You really can.
And who wants to work past their 50s?
Yeah. Nobody.
I'd rather be Forrest Gump and do like a little bit here and there just to keep my mind occupied, and that's about it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's the right road too. Like, and that's investing. That's the other options that are not just let me get a job with a good company and maybe I can stay there for 25 years. Because then at the end of that, you're hoping you don't get laid off. You're hoping that your pension or your 401k is still there. It's a lot of hoping. Like, sure, you get your paycheck, but you can't. There's some upward mobility, and you can get better in the corporate structure. But at the end of the day, like what Robert Kiyosaki says is, you need to mind your own business. And what he means by that is you need your own side hustle. Your job is not there to make you rich. It needs to be your side hustle.
And why do I want to have some guy who makes 6 figures and have to rely on him for my future of my income and how well I'm doing for working? Where I could be my own business owner and just be like, damn, I'm racking in all this money and see the return and just be like, you know what? This is hard work. Why would I want to slave at a corporation, wearing a damn suit every day that's not going to fit because I'm a big dude? Be uncomfortable, sit in a chair all damn day for 10, 12 hours doing everybody else's work, being a bitch boy to somebody else. And then come time and 3-4 years later, when I want to be a partnership for these people or get that big time promotion, I'm sitting there and get embarrassed because some other asshole gets it.
Yeah.
What did I do? Nothing. I got bitched.
Nothing. And you probably didn't do anything wrong. Or
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Yeah, your audio is different. You switched a little bit. Yeah, try to connect yours again. They may have died. Can you still hear me?
I can't hear you.
No, nothing at all. How about now? Still no? How about now? Still no? Because I can hear you.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It like cut out for a second.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, dude. And the other dude may have, like, he may have been more qualified. He may not have been. Like, it may have been a 50-50 and he got it. Or he may have done some shady shit to get ahead. Because a lot of times that's what happens in corporate environments. People just hate it. And then you're like, I worked 12 years here not get that promotion, like
Yeah.
you may rightfully deserve it.
Yeah. And why would I want to work somewhere if I died tomorrow? They'll replace me the next day and just send a card and be like, "Oh, sorry."
That's right.
Well,
Yep.
yeah,
They'll do a little office gathering for you.
Well, remember when I told you that story when I was in between like the corrections, wasn't sure what I really wanted to do, and I went in for a police academy test. I knew I was going to pass it. The physical was easy, but the thing is that they're hiring for 2 spots for the whole police department. 2. I walked in, didn't even sit down yet, and watched the chief shake hands with 2 kids on a first name basis. Once I heard that and heard, hey, I heard your dad said you need this job, I walked out because I said, I'm not going to get it. Yeah. That guy doesn't even know who the fuck I am.
Yep.
And guess who got the job that I saw in the paper literally down the road? Those same exact fucking kids. Yep. And I'm not beat for that. Yeah. I'm not going to waste my time for people who can just manipulate and do this and do that. And then I get fucked in the end.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the one, that sucks to say, but do the fucking.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a great George Carlin line. He's a comedian. He says a lot of what business is how much can I fuck this other guy before he fucks me? Like the person who said what was it? The person who said let the buyer beware was probably bleeding from the asshole.
Yeah.
And that's legit. I mean, the fact is, and that once you are like in control and once you do have your own business, then you get the choice of whether you want to be the asshole boss and like, or how kind you want to be and where you want to fall and how much you want to dial it up or not. But the beauty about it is you can be in control of that. You're not the one dealing with an asshole boss. Like you said, you're working for somebody who you're getting paid well, but he's getting paid great.
Yeah.
He's an asshole. And he controls how much you work, and you better be nice to him.
And I'd rather wake up early, bust my ass, and still reap the benefits of an owner and a worker. Yeah. Because when I plan, I set my own salary. It's how hard do I want to get it day in and day out. That's right. Is that I end up doing it. And guess what? When people fuck my money, I'm right at the door. Hey, it's my family that you're fucking with. And I'm here. So you got one option.
Yeah. That's a really good way of looking at it. Like I've always I've had issues of like thinking about money or like asking, like trying to get paid or whatnot. For some reason, there's like a weird like blockage in my head with money, asking people for it and whatnot. But like in that respect, if it's my family or yours, hell yeah, I'm not gonna have a fucking issue about it. Then it's gonna be like, where's my money? I gotta feed my family. I gotta feed myself. I need that.
Yeah. And that's not how I'm trying to live, man.
Yeah, that's a really great way to look at it, honestly. Like that kind of rationalizes a lot of the reservations I have about it. Is like, hey man, I gotta feed my family, I gotta feed myself, I gotta feed my future. All right. I don't got time to pussyfoot around you owing me money.
Yeah. So and plus, like I could give my raise anytime. It's like, all right, do I want to make $100 an hour? Do I want to make $150 an hour? Why do I have to depend on somebody to sit me down as a grown ass man and be like, hey, you did good for the year. Here's a 25-cent raise. Why don't you just take your balls and slap it across my face?
Here's a bonus of $1,000.
Great, cool.
I just made you 50.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah,
you gave me $1,000 and I made this company $1 million, or I put my life on the line for $1,000 bonus. I put my health.
Yeah,
I put my physical health. I put my mental health through this. I lost time with my family, but hey, or like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Oh, here's a jelly donut coupon for a whole year's worth. Like, all right, cool. I'll just go jump off a cliff, you know? Like, but with me, it's just, hey, how hard do you want to grind? You know, how bad do I want this? How bad? And that just keeps me going. Is that the more my family grows, the more mental capacity of me trying to like understand, all right, what do I need to do to build this empire of mine that I want to keep going?
Yeah.
And it just fuels the fire. When Xander came and Now our house is getting a little too small, so I was like, hey, we're gonna need something bigger. Or hey, I want this, and oh, I want that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it just adds fuel to the flame. It's just like, all right, this is what I want more. If I have to work on a Saturday or Sunday, I don't give a fuck. I'll do it because guess what? It's mine. It's 100% profitable besides taxes. And that's it. I don't have to worry about the middleman. I don't need to worry about the high man. I don't need to worry about the low man unless I start hiring more people. That's about it.
That's right.
But I'll still take care of the people who I would hire.
Yeah, and that's part of it. I mean, part of it is trying not to be an asshole once you get in that position.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hardest thing because more money you have, the more power.
Power hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get too full of yourself, and then it's important for somebody to check you, whether it's your wife or your or Miranda or like a friend or somebody who's looking from the outside, like, hey man, I just heard how you spoke to that guy on the phone.
Yeah.
Did you really mean to lay into him like that? And so and at that point it is just being careful of not being too much of an asshole, too power hungry, too full of yourself. Because everybody's got asshole bosses. So
hey, or you could just cut that out. Everybody has an asshole.
I was gonna say, that's what I started with. Everyone's got an asshole.
Yeah, it just depends on, like, I'm an asshole when it comes to protecting.
Yeah.
I'm going to protect mine, and the Papa Bear is going to come out of it. I mean, you've seen it first-handedly. If you're going to hurt somebody, you're going to disrespect somebody for no reason, I'm going to put you in your fucking place. And I have no problem doing it. Hell, I have no problem using my fucking fist.
Yeah, right? And that's a skill in itself to be able to know that you can go there.
Yeah.
Like, also to know the legalities and smart ways to go about it.
Yeah. And you know me.
I remember being a senior mentor at Collingswood High School. And I remember giving advice to the freshmen that I was the senior mentor to. I remember telling them, hey, all right, don't fight. There's no need to fight. Talk it out. You should be able to talk it out. Okay? But if you do need to fight, don't do it on school property.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Then you get in a fight, whether you win or lose, you automatically get suspended after that. And then your parents get involved and then it goes on your record. And there's no need for that. If you're going to fight, don't fight. I don't condone it. But if you do, take it elsewhere. Go in town. Go. And don't do it right after school either. Like around the corner.
Find a place on a Saturday.
Technically, plan it for a Saturday.
Or what my dad taught me, take it right out back door. Take it right out back, right in the back.
Yeah.
Of your own house. Beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. And then you got to be careful of like the household because remember, like if somebody comes to your house and you fight them, like then in some respects it could be self-defense for you. So I guess that's better. So hey, pull up on me.
Yeah.
Might be better. But and that was the advice I would give my freshmen. Don't fight.
Yeah.
If you don't do it on school property. Doesn't make sense. If you're gonna fight, be smart about it. So, it's an important lesson too because you can't just go swinging on people if they give a bad look.
Yeah, that's my downfall sometimes though because once you poke the bear, I don't stop.
Yeah. If you give them like a side eye look or something, like you got to be careful. If people are inebriated, if they're drunk or on drugs, then people are a lot more testy, a lot more like.
There's less care.
Say that again.
When they're under the influence of anything, there's less care.
There's less care, and there's also like more of an awareness of a slight, and there's also more of an importance on that slight versus letting it go. Like it's not that big a deal. Like fuck him, he's not worth it.
Yeah.
You're like, he said that to me. Who does he think he is? What the fuck is his problem? And then it stews within you, and you're like, wait, let this motherfucker look at me one more time.
That's like me the other day. I went to go make sure my friend Matt was okay because he's going through a little life situation. And I'm heading home, and this blue Durango pulls out in front of me, goes into the middle lane to turn, and then comes back into the left lane to make a left-hand turn. I rolled down my window and told the person, yo, watch where you're fucking going. Because they were like 2 inches away from smashing into me because they couldn't execute a right turn. and there's 5 teenagers inside of there. They were like, "Fuck you, pussy," this, that, and the other. So I put my car right in park, right at the red light, got out, went right over to their passenger window, held their window down, was cursing at them the whole fucking time, telling them that they need to fucking respect people. I was pretty close to pulling one of them out of the fucking car because he kept trying to be fucking disrespectful until I put him in his damn place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but it's really interesting how the dynamic can switch. Like if you're with your friends and like you feel a little bit more confident. Now if there's somebody at your door holding your window down from you raising it up and about to pull you out of the car, you're gonna shut the fuck up. You're gonna shut the fuck up.
That one dude was disrespecting his girlfriend at the party, at his own party, and I kicked him out of his own house.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, man, and it's true. Like, you know, especially in that situation with the Durango, you feel confident until like it escalates to a certain situation. You're like, oh fuck, what did I just get myself into? Like I remember one time I was with my brother. We're stoned. We're driving around Walmart. We're in the handicap carts. We're having a ball, like stoned, laughing. Like I got my phone recording like our adventure, just like stupid shit. Him and I are both driving handicap carts around Walmart, just having a ball, laughing and whatnot. We hit this one aisle, and my brother turns around, and I go forward, and we both can't get by each other at this one point because there's a support beam, and so we both stop and we both start laughing. And there's this one black lady who like was in the same aisle, and she made a comment like, boy, your mother, do you think your mother would be proud? And I was like, excuse me, we're having a ball. Like, yeah, our mom is very proud of us, okay? Like, yeah, okay. And whatnot. We said like another sly comment back. I remember like going to the next aisle over. There was like some bags of pasta. I was so fucked up in the head when I decided to do this, but my high thought was like, let me throw a bag of pasta over the aisle.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I lobbed the pasta over the aisle, and then I hear, oh hell no. And I was like, oh fuck. I just started like speeding away on this like slow ass handicap scooter. I was like, at that moment, I was like, oh God, I fucked up. It got
Don't mess with people in Walmart.
It got a lot bigger, and the lady was like, coming at us in the checkout line. She was like, you don't know me. You don't fucking know me. Like, I'll call a motherfucker, get your motherfucking heads blown off right now. You don't know me. And I was like, there was nothing to say in that moment. Like, thankfully, my brother like took over the interaction, didn't like throw me under the bus. Like, yeah, it was like one of those situations where you're like, I'm feeling big, and then something happens. You're like, oh shit, I fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of the reminders. Like,
my problem is that I don't care about crowds.
Yeah. This black lady did not care about crowds.
Yeah, I didn't care when we almost got in a fight down the shore.
Yeah. There was a couple times.
That's
right.
Crowds don't scare me. Bring them.
Yeah, man. It's something that's like, you know, the universe has that kind of way about it. Like if you're feeling really comfortable, or if you like, no, I'm feeling good. Like I'm gonna show off a little bit or something. It's got a way of checking you.
Yeah.
Like, that like you with the teenagers in the Durango, like you definitely check them to like, hold up, I gotta get my shit together. Or like maybe post about this. Like that black lady checked me, and I was like, oh shit, I wasn't ready for any of that. I didn't really want any of that. That was a stupid decision.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was definitely like the universe has a way of checking you. If you get like too outlandish or you're doing something, you're like, fuck them. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm like, here, let me do this. And you're like, oh shit, this developed into something that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah. You gotta watch those situations.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put hands on people sometimes.
Yeah.
Unless they really deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, because even I mean, sometimes even just the fear of it or the threat of it is like, oh shit, I gotta watch out. Like I gotta shape up, or I gotta not do that again.
That was like when I was at the bar and I just didn't want to put my hands on the dude. But he's just being creepy to women, so I helped throw him out.
Yeah.
And the dude, when we threw him out, tried to get, in my face. I was slightly a little taller than him. And when he got into my face, he got so close that I felt uncomfortable and I was ready to put my hands on him. But I just needed an excuse. And his top lip touched my bottom lip. That's when I just got underneath his arms and just threw him as hard as far as I could.
After he kissed you?
Basically. That's where I kind of draw the line because I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I'd throw somebody too if they kissed me like that.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's a valid thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And you're within your own right to do things like to a certain extent. Like you don't want to like really fuck them up too bad or whatnot. And sometimes people are asking for it, man.
Yeah, trust me, I get it. You got videos of people asking for it.
You've been aware of it for many years. Like how long were you a bartender for? Or no, not a bartender, a bouncer. Plus because I know
3 years.
How many?
3 years.
3 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
During college, a little bit after college.
Yeah. So you've seen a lot, and especially when people are drunk or they're inebriated or on drugs.
Yeah, they think they're superheroes.
Common sense goes right out the window, and they think they're superheroes.
Yeah, I mean, people on cocaine, they're pretty hard to put down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I seen a guy take pretty good haymakers from me, get put right down, bleeding from the face, get right back up.
You're right back up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And got in a fight with a Hispanic male who was wielding a knife at me. And he was high on cocaine and drunk.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have had 10 Coronas. And from the one dude, he did quite a few bumps in the bathroom with his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And he was disrespecting a transgender female. And, I have respect for everybody. So I tell them politely, like, yo, you got to fucking knock it off, to help both parties, because you don't want to escalate to a situation and you want to make the other party who's getting offended, you want to please them.
Yeah. Make sure they're being watched or taken care of.
Yeah. And I turned my back, not even a few seconds later, they started saying shit to the female. So I told him to get the fuck out and start waving his fucking knife at me. And I ended up breaking his like forearm.
Yeah.
Just to stop him from trying to stab me. And then hit him a few times and put him down. And wait until the cops come.
Yeah. Did he get back up like the other guy?
You didn't feel his arm break, but you could see it popping out a little bit. And I mean, it took about 3 hits in the face to finally like put him like to rest.
Yeah. Man. People.
And then
go on.
And then he was still kind of fidgeting a little bit to try to get up until I like put my weight down on him to keep him down because he's a danger to himself and other people. And you gotta take that in accountability. You got to do it the smart way. You don't want to end up on Facebook as a trending situation.
Yeah. You don't want to be trending. That's for sure.
And that's one reason why, because even though people didn't know this whole story about the situation because this happened all outside, people thought I was out of line. Even though the guy had a knife, I had to apprehend him and do physical harm to him in order to like disarm him because he wasn't giving up. There's how many verbal commands can you give somebody?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's your life or do I want to go home to my family in a body bag or do I want to go home safe and unharmed?
Yep.
I choose to go home alive. So I'm going to have to do what I have to do. And, you do the right things. And once people start seeing you pushing weight down on somebody, people get offended. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you don't know the whole story. Like, you let action and the whole situation like boil down before you start accusing, whipping out your phone. That's a big decision that I made when, it came down to my future as, do I want to be a police officer? Do I want to grow into the FBI? Like, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Or do I want to be a handyman where, it's less stressful
Yeah.
and resulting more like, what's less harmful to my body health
Right.
and to my family?
Yeah, what's better for your family?
Yeah. So that was one of the big situations right there too that helped, because I told myself in the shower that night that I was like, you know what? I can't deal with that bullshit with phones in my face and people tell me that I'm unfair, this, that, and the other. Like, fuck you. That's what I tell people. Like, mind your fucking business. Like, I'm working here. I'm doing what I need to fucking do. If you want, you can go get the public document of what the actual fucking happened.
Yeah.
Because people just like to go right to one resort, is that use of physical force when I'm not supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I'm glad that was like a wake up call, and like, I don't want to be doing this shit. I don't want to be dealing with drunk people on cocaine, knives. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you realize that this as your friend and for your family and all that.
Yeah.
One term that I've come across is the protective use of force.
Mm-hmm.
So it's where you're not really going out of your way to like harm somebody, but you're using the protective use of force to subdue them and stop them from being a harm to themselves or from being a harm to other people.
Yeah.
And that's big. So yeah, that was some terminology that I came across. Protective use of force.
Yeah. Should I rip the label off my water bottle so you don't get right copy?
No, man. You can advertise any water you want. Sponsorship. I got Wegmans water right here.
I got my Deer Park.
Yeah, Deer Park, come sponsor. I'll run an ad for you.
Yeah.
I'll put you in the beginning of the segment. This is evergreen content, which means it stays good forever.
Yeah.
So
and we're always talking, so we have to quench our thirst,
Yeah, there's an allure to that of, hey man, if I put an ad on this podcast, it's always going to be there.
So did you take a water bottle and pour it into a cup?
Well, you see, I have two here. I have a full water bottle and I got a cup. So by doing this, then I'll sometimes go through the cup. I don't get up and leave the room to go get another refill. So I've got to the point where I get the refill here. Also for bedtime too, because if I'm laying in bed at night, who wants to get out of their bed to go get up and get some more water? So
I always make sure, because I had that weird, like, I guess you would say OCD with even. Like, my number for volume always has to be even. I always have 4 things of water bottles next to my bed, like always. Unless it's nice. It has to be like a half sometimes. Like 25 is cool, or like 5's good because that's half of 10, or
Yeah, half of 5. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I see a lot of people draw a line after that. They're like, no, it has to be
just no 3s, no 1s.
Yeah.
Just no 3s, 1s, 7s, or 9s.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that way too. Like, you're a bigger dude, so I just need like 2 water bottles. But you also have family with you, so makes sense. You can just pile up as much as you need.
Yeah.
Like, and
that's good.
Yeah. Do what fits you.
Yeah, like I buy like 10 cases of water bottle.
Yeah, I see you doing. Your closet is stacked.
Yeah.
4 cases of 35 packed waters. 40 packs, like whatever Sam's Club is selling.
Yeah. You never know what's gonna happen, especially in today's fucking world.
Yeah.
Shit's getting crazy, man.
Shit is crazy. Things are crazy.
Like, me and Miranda, like, we always have like a shared document of how much we spend. We put it in and calculate it to like show that like what we're spending and keep track on it. And just listening to the news and listening what's happening. Like, that's why we got into big time investments with like cryptocurrency, because the devaluation of the face of the dollar is going to go down tremendously soon.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the hell is going to happen, especially in today's world. Like, are we going to have a shortage? There's going to be a war, or like this pandemic's going to get worse. Like, we don't know. Like, how bad's this strain going to be? So I game plan that we go out of our comfort zone of spending what we want to spend on food. All right, let's amp up our perishables like beans and rice and other canned goods,
Yeah.
water. Like, never know
Yeah.
what the fuck's gonna happen. I know I sound
Great point.
crazy doing that, but looking back on those times, like trying to take a nap and you're watching those like bunker like survivalists and like pandemic people, and it's just like like they're not wrong.
Yeah.
You think that they're fucking crazy in the beginning, but like now that we actually hit something that it doesn't seem serious, but it's serious, because it's
Yeah.
like, all right, it's a fucking flu, but it's just spreading so fast that you just don't fucking know.
Yeah. I
So now
remember,
our closet is filled with perishables now.
which is great, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember back in February 2020 that
Mm-hmm.
I was first time I was in Wegmans with my dad or just by myself. I was there to pick up like a few things. I wasn't taking the pandemic or anything too seriously or watching the news that much. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't care all that much and like I'm in a position where I'm not supporting a household. So like I don't need to like be too like tuned in on that. But it was the
Mm-hmm.
first time I was at Wegmans and there was not much pasta on the shelves.
Yeah.
Like it was like actually bare. And I was like, wow. Like people are stocked up. They got full carts. The lines are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this? It was seeing pasta not on the shelf. Just like
Yeah.
huh, that's different. I didn't even go to the toilet paper aisle, which is like a big deal.
Nothing.
Paper towels. Didn't pay attention to that. It was just the pasta aisle.
Yeah.
So I was there to pick up some pasta,
Yeah,
and that's
man. You
how
can
I
just never
how I
be too
saw it.
cautious.
Yeah,
Because
and it
that's
was, and so it makes sense that it is a good chance, a good time to take care of like stuff like that because we've now seen. Plus, if you consider like any major snowstorm that occurs,
yeah.
people are at the grocery stores stocking up. Like they're going to be
Yeah.
there for 3, 4, 5 days.
And you can never have enough because you don't know how long it could be. What if we go without power? What
Yeah,
if we go without, uh, the trucks recurring coming in and restocking everything? You never fucking
literally,
know.
literally. We take stacked shop shelves and produce and fruit in the grocery store as a given.
Yeah.
As like for granted. Like we've just grown up with, oh yeah, we'll just go to the supermarket. It's got everything we want.
Snap of the finger, it's there.
Literally. My one friend, buddy Akbar,
Hmm.
who's in his 70s, just moved his business from New Jersey to Virginia. Who I'm planning to have on the podcast too. He's gonna be an interesting one. Um, he said he remembered it one other time that it ever happened, and he was living in Seattle at one point. He said there's only one major highway that goes up and down. Really, only one. Like I don't think there's much of a side road other than that.
Hmm.
He said there was a mudslide on like half of it or all of it or
Hmm.
something, and trucks weren't able to get up, and so the grocery stores were like empty at that point.
Yeah.
That was the only time that he ever really saw it, other than recently. So
Hmm.
it's possible. It's unlikely, but
Yeah.
still got to be aware of it. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, you got to think. You
we
don't
don't
know
know.
how every state's different. So any government will just wake up and be like, "Fuck this, close down the state."
Yeah,
You know. I mean, think about it. Like, yeah, we're United States. We're all one united, but the European Union's united. But France and England are damn near on the brink of war, as I told you before, because
yeah,
that new strand from Europe, from the British, are like going through people rapidly at
yeah,
a dangerous rate. That the French stopped them from crossing the English Channel
yeah,
because they're like, hey, nah, like, and England was on a food shortage for a little bit because the truck drivers weren't going in nor out. It
yeah.
was just miles upon miles of just tractor trailers just piled
Literally.
up because they would not be allowed to go unless they had a negative test.
Yeah, yeah.
So God forbid that happens.
And it makes sense too. Like from France's side, it makes sense to
Yeah.
shut these down.
Hmm.
But literally, once the supply chains get fucked up,
Yeah.
you just got to survive at that point. You got to get through
Yeah.
it. Hope you come through on the other end, and hope things go back to normal.
Hmm. The only thing I need is a fucking generator.
Yeah, really. Like that's what you need. That or candles. Like, I mean, you need to keep the
I have
food.
candles.
You got candles, so you're set. Yeah, you need to keep the food in your fridge still cold. I mean, the things you're not looking to lose.
Yeah. Like your three essentials during a snowstorm: bread, eggs, and milk.
That's right.
Because
Yeah.
everybody needs French toast.
Everybody deserves French toast.
I had French toast this morning.
You did? Yeah.
Did.
That's great. I was going to ask you what you had for breakfast, what you made Miranda.
Yeah. We had sausage and French toast. Homemade.
Yeah. Homemade French toast.
Oh, yeah. Daddy can cook.
Oh, man. I'm about to make a joke. What
was your joke?
I was like, oh, you gave her some homemade sausage too?
Ah! I did. That's why we have two kids.
That's great. That's the way that'll do
it. Yeah.
Oops. Great, man. Yeah. I sent you a nice picture of my breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a guy that could always appreciate a well-made breakfast.
Oh yeah, and garlic bread.
And you make some of the best garlic bread, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one way it was cool. My girlfriend Julie made this type of garlic bread. It was like the full foot and a half long roll, cut in half, with like butter and oil and like garlic powder plus minced garlic plus like some herbs.
No, you don't put minced garlic on there. You don't want to chew something.
Yeah,
like
it was minced garlic too. It was it minced? Yeah, I don't know if she did that. It was definitely in powder, but I've had types of garlic bread from Italian restaurants that have minced garlic on it. It tastes fine. It doesn't taste an issue. Just you got to do it small.
Yeah, real small.
It was good, man. Yeah. Also been going to this. Do you eat Indian food?
It's not really my cup of tea, but I guess I'm willing to try.
Yeah. I wanna bring you some Indian food sometime.
Okay. And just feed me on the toilet with it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let you. It's not a bad time there.
Nah, especially my lighting in there.
Yeah, with your Alexa in there too.
Yeah.
Alexa and a good book. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Almost done that book too. Got like 130 more pages. Yeah.
Oh yeah, your Dynasty book.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I just ordered 4 more books.
You did? Oh, what'd you order?
I'll tell you. I gotta. Let's see. I'm on Amazon right now. I was getting out of control, like trying to order stuff for my truck. It was like almost $4,000. I'm like, yeah, let's not do
that. Yeah, you gotta be careful not to go too much too quick.
So I ordered an Elon Musk book. I ordered the Hypothesis of Happiness. Well, the Happiness Hypothesis.
Okay.
Like a Warrior, and then The Coddling of the American Mind.
Okay. What was the Elon Musk book called?
It's like about his life and everything. Okay. It doesn't really. It just says Elon Musk.
Okay. So this is biography or autobiography.
Yeah, and like his future plans and everything. Because I just think that's one type of person that can shape our future. So
that dude he really is the type to shape in the future. Like 100%.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to him on Joe Rogan, it's like,
oh yeah,
this guy
came out with a new one.
Like
3 days ago, they did another one.
He's been steady doing that since PayPal plus like something else before Tesla, and this guy's just on another level.
About PayPal, he's about to partnership with Dogecoin, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah.
Shit, I gotta get it on my position like ASAP.
Yeah. Another $100 into that.
I'm gonna do that today.
I've been at 8,000 shares right now for it.
Yeah, are you? Nice.
Yeah.
Good 8,000.
So hopefully
8,000 shares at 6 cents.
Yeah.
I'll let somebody else do that math. But
hey, if it gets up to 1,500, I'm set. I'll sell.
Yeah, $1,500.
I'll sell a quarter of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way to do it. Is you don't have to sell all of it, but you sell a portion.
Yeah.
And that's a nice way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Sell in little chunks, increments as it goes up.
Yeah. Especially it's just like it's unbelievable how the power of the internet, like you could really see the power of it, how it manipulates the market sometimes. Manipulates a lot of things. Not going to get into politics, but that's for sure hand of a manipulation right there.
You mean the GameStop and AMC?
Yeah.
Because that stuff really brought it to light recently.
Yeah.
Which it's not usually an average person's game where you can actually do things like that. You're not able to, with the normal person, able to swing a market like that for a stock and make a huge chunk of money.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend named Josh Spalansky who you ran across. You crossed paths with him. I brought him to Shaman's 21st birthday in Atlantic City, and it was him, his girlfriend, and his little brother. I got to know them. Got some really good contact from him. David Sonsino, really quality guy who flips houses. He's flipped cars. He ran a business in Pennsauken for 30 years. And so he was telling me, Josh was telling me, showed me an example of a stock that was like very little. He was telling me that these like really rich people would get together in a group of how they can make more money. And they like picked the stock and they all bought into it, and the shares went up to like from like $5, it went up to $80. Then $80 it sold, and then it went back down, and then that was it. So it was a stock that was just steady, went up, down, steady, never to hear of it again.
Yeah.
And he showed me the stock, and I was like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, it's the fact that average people are able to get together and do this is fantastic, honestly.
Yeah, that was like this one guy that I know. He owns a flooring business, and he's 2 years older than I am. And I mean, the guy sees $1 million in his bank account every damn day. That's depends on which account you're looking at, because he has multiple.
Okay,
yeah. But one day, sorry, Miranda's starting to call me. Okay. One day, God damn it.
If you want to answer, I can pause the recording. You want me to pause the recording? And we'll be back. And we're back.
Sorry. But yeah, he told me that he had an insight about once the pandemic hit, about a company who's going to try to do the vaccine called NVAX. It was $6.25 around this time last year. It's at $330 right now. Yeah. And he put $27,000 into that one stock. I mean, I wasn't sure because I wasn't savvy enough, and I wasn't sure that like I can't just take some Smojo's fucking word on it. So I bought like, 10 and a half shares of it. I mean, I sold it at 180 because it plateaued during the summer, and it was like a smidge of it like just kept going down and down and down. I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm just gonna sell it. I sold it and flipped it, and then I looked the other day. I'm like, all right, let me see how this is still going. It went from 230 to 330. I'm like, holy shit.
That's fucking great, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to miss out on stuff. I had AMC, but as you know, the $1 billion man with the hedge funds and everything, they can manipulate it and stop you from gaining money and access to a great gain. But try not to miss out on that, like especially with Bitcoin. Bitcoin exploded 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And Dogecoin, because of how the economy is going to be and everything, yeah, baby. And everything's going. It's just that like Dogecoin's going to, like Bitcoin and Dogecoin are going to be one of the best currencies to trade. Yeah. So, I mean, and Dogecoin is moving faster than Bitcoin ever did in the time that it's been around. So, I mean, we're looking at a pretty big margin of a gain. So, keep powering that down.
Yeah, and it's important to talk about it more. Like I'm just I've yet to. I don't think I've purchased a stock yet.
Yeah.
Need to get
We
on
the people can manipulate anything.
Yeah, that's a really great thing that it's like the average person is exploiting the same system that billionaires exploit.
Yeah, like the $35 billion man who went on NBC 10 crying that he's losing his
Yeah,
house. And like,
yeah.
you do this every fucking
Hotels are
day.
going to zero, or was that a
Yeah.
different guy? That's a
No, it
different.
was a guy when they called the fail of GameStop. So
Uh-huh.
when Reddit came out saying, "Hey, buy it because they're going the opposite way,"
Uh-huh.
he came out. He was one of the hedge funds that had to be bought out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after that, he was losing. Like, you got to think these people are putting their 401ks and everything, like their life savings, into these stocks, and got fucked. But you got to think these people do this on a day-to-day basis of screwing the little people.
Right.
Now the big people got fucked, and now you're just going to sit there on national television crying. What about the Smo Joe who's working a 9 to 5 trying to support his family, who try to get a piece of the pie, just a little bit, just try to get a crumb of the pie,
Yep.
and you fuck them and you still laugh as you put your fucking Versace shoes up on your desk and be like, I did it again. You know?
Good day at the office.
Yeah, and then go on your $600,000-$700,000 fucking boat to go deep sea fishing because all you have to do is work 3 times a month because you fuck everybody else. Well, times are changing. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and like, thank God it is, man. Like, I'm really.
Yeah.
That was one movement, GameStop and AMC, that I think everybody got behind. Everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there were journalists, and I saw something about a journalist in Germany tweeting in German to his followers, like, everybody, like, people should purchase GameStop, not as a way to make money, but as like a ticket to enter a protest.
Yeah.
Like, just for that reason.
It's just to fuck the big guy.
Yeah, just to fuck
And
the
that's
big
what
guy.
we want.
Just to fuck the big guy. And that's one of the big things that it's really nice, because a lot of times we're divided with like race and gender and politics, and we're like, well, you got black hair and I got blonde hair, so fuck you. Like,
yeah.
That's where like we get pitted against. But if they forget that like the majority of us are poor, or we're not wealthy. We're middle class, and the middle class is shrinking, and the gap between the rich and the poor has been getting greater year over year. And the top 1% or the top 1/10 of 1% could feed all the hungry in the world.
Yeah,
like, something's fucked. Something's wrong.
And it's just giving a big fuck you to the big guy for once.
Yeah, and that's why it was such a movement that everyone could get behind. Of course.
The Amazon truck's backing up, so if you can hear
them. Are you getting something? Maybe it's your books.
Possibly.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I just got an Audible subscription. I just finally paid for it. I was really happy about that. I was talking to my one friend, Kenneth Cruz, who's on the podcast, and he was talking about his Audible, doing Audible.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's such a nice way. I'll read books and I'll get tired of reading, or sometimes.
Let's say, are you into that? Because I have to physically hold it.
You do.
And read it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
like listening.
I'd have the habit of like starting a book, opening it up, and then reading it, and then not really like finishing it. I'd read like a good couple chapters of it. That'd be good. I might get halfway through it, but then I'd put it down because other things would take precedence in my life.
Got to read it on the toilet.
I don't sit on the toilet too often or too long. I don't sit there too long. Like, I do my business and get up. That's so funny. But yeah, man. So I started listening to Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights. And it's a fantastic book, and I'm halfway through it. It's 6 hours of recording, 6.5 hours of recording. I'm already halfway through it. I purchased it 2 days ago. So it's like, this is real progress for me. And I'm listening to it. Audible gives you the ability to bookmark a section, to like cut a little clip. If you're interested in saving it, you can title it and stretch it for how long. Like, I think up to 2 minutes. I was so happy getting that. So yeah, man.
Yeah. I went on YouTube and looked up the audio version of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I listened to it twice when I was
Yeah,
working. So
yeah, that was the other thing that I made to think, because Audible gives you one, they call it like one coin or one token a month, and you can use
hmm
that token on any book you want. So I
hmm
used my token on Greenlights.
it's
Started,
always nice to build a library.
yeah, and then you can build a library there too, like on
Like
Audible, even though you can do it.
like yeah, like well, I'm one of those dumbasses that love collecting Blu-ray DVDs because I just like the option of just picking it up and going.
You do.
Yeah,
That's
I
nice.
love my movie collection. Unless your dog eats it, not going to say any names.
Max.
Yeah,
Damn dog.
yeah. Like
Ah.
I get my Xbox games like through the cloud, but I don't like to get my
Yeah,
movies on there.
don't. Yeah, you've learned.
yeah,
You learned through his terrible twos, his terrible ones,
yeah.
his terrible under ones.
hmm
Man, yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
it's really awesome. Like Audible lets you do a lot of stuff. It makes you bookmark your section, pull away
yeah.
like, little clips that are like really good nuggets of information. And
hmm
also on the same point is that I was like, let me look up, because I looked up Rich Dad Poor Dad on there. I was like, I wonder if this is a paid book, and then I saw it was, and I was like, huh. And then I looked it up on YouTube, and I've looked it up on YouTube before, and it's a free book on YouTube. Like there's no
Yeah.
anything else. I looked up Greenlights on YouTube after that to see if that book was available for like audio
hmm
listen, and it was, but there was background music to it,
Yeah.
and so that's how they could get past the copyright.
Yeah. It's too much disturbing.
But it was too disturbing. So it made
Yeah.
me think that, oh yeah, start with YouTube if I want to check out a book, if it's for free, if they have
hmm
it, and then go from there. So
Yeah.
that's
I was
good.
happy to start. Like I haven't been like the biggest reader my whole life, but it's nice that like the more wisdom I get and the older I get, the more it becomes like, all right, I'll put the phone down and start reading. Because I only have Facebook, as you know, anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
if I get tagged on something and Miranda tells me to like go on Instagram or something, I'll do it.
yeah,
That's about it. But I have to sign in on the web page. I don't have any of the apps anymore because I don't want any distraction.
yeah,
You know, it's just too much of like you're becoming a zombie with the phone.
yeah. I've found that with myself. Like if there are
hmm
days where I'm ever not feeling well, I'm watching videos on my computer and scrolling on my phone with no
Yeah.
intention of looking at anything. And
hmm
then I've noticed if I ever hit the point where I have a video playing and I'm scrolling on my phone, I don't give up. I really don't care about either thing. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I could be playing video games and reading a book, or like watching TV and reading a book, or it wouldn't matter at that point. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I should be doing something. I should go on a walk. I should.
Well, that's what I do. Like I wake up before everybody, and so like I'll play Madden in the morning, but with my phone, I'll go on YouTube and I'll listen to. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like sometimes I'll listen to something sportsy, or like I'll
Yeah.
listen to the Pat McAfee show.
Uh-huh.
I'll listen to hey, how to build your credit better, or how to build your portfolio better, how to be
Yeah.
smarter in stocks, how to be
Yeah.
smarter with your credit card, which one's good, which one's not, how to manipulate shit, how to do this, and it's like
Uh-huh.
that's what I like to do because I'll have a 2 to 3 hour window because how early I wake up because
Yeah.
what's sleep anymore.
That's good.
But
Well, I mean, that part's not good, but
yeah, well, that's why you take dad naps.
yeah. 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 Naps are big.
Oh
Kids
yeah,
know how to do it.
I can't nap in a bed, but I can nap on my couch.
Yeah. That's good. You need some background noise.
That's how I am with my naps. Like we don't have a TV in our room
Yeah.
because at night, like we'll talk, we'll have stupid conversations, and then we'll go to bed because I need complete silence. Even though that's not anymore with a baby,
Yeah.
and I like the darkness.
Yeah.
And that's it. Well, we had to keep our door open a little bit for Ellie, and she likes with those pink lights around her room. That's her nightlight. So I just see that. So I just can't get comfortable. And then our fat dog getting into the bed takes up the space.
Yep.
Xander comes into the bed with us, and then Ellie, last 3 quarters of the night, will hop in our bed. So I'm the first man out of the bed. So
Yep.
so I was like, might as well start my day. It's like
Bed's getting
five
big.
forty-five in the morning.
Bed's getting full. Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go.
I told Miranda, I was like, we should just buy another king size bed and put it side by side to each other.
That's an answer, man.
Yeah, it'd be one of the best purchases I'll ever do.
That's definitely an answer. That's a
Yeah.
valid way to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running out of bed. Let's go buy another bed.
Yeah.
Let's
I see, man.
this.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, man. It's funny, we were talking about beds. I was just looking it up myself. So I'm sleeping on a full-size bed. And I got the idea, it'd be nice to get a queen-size bed. And, I like to do things. Shimon purchased the bed. He got it from Bed in a Box. It's like chips in a box. It's small as that.
You got to watch that, because if you don't read the fine print on there, in order to gain the best outcome of what they're promoting, you have to see the weight limit on that. Because that purple bed or something that has the air pockets in them, that's supposed to be the comfortable sleep. Just my weight alone surpasses that to actually get the guaranteed comfort that they say that they will provide.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you have to watch those beds in a box type of thing.
Okay.
Because they could be your worst enemy.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah. Because I could just lay on the one bed for that, be the only person. But you bring another person in, there goes the weight limit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was thinking in my head last night. I like to look at things, figure out how I can get something, get it in a cheap manner, or get it secondhand. Figure it out. I very rarely pay retail for many things. The computer I'm Skyping you on or Zooming you on is a MacBook Air. But for the longest time, I was saying in my head, I'm gonna get a Mac. That's gonna be my next laptop that I purchase.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna get it for $200. I'm not gonna be spending much more than that.
Well, how's the programming on that if you're getting an out of date one?
Well, this one's a 2013 MacBook Air, and it's up to the newest operating system.
Well, how much did that run you?
This $200.
Oh,
dead serious. Yeah. It's once you put out that intention, and the way I did it is I wanted to spend $200 for the computer, and I said it for years. I wasn't really compromising. I had this little pink laptop that my brother got when he was in Costa Rica that had a Spanish keyboard on it, which was funky. It had the little Enye with the N with the squiggly over it. As a button on the computer, and buttons weren't lined up, so you'd be putting in a question mark, and you'd have to hit shift and where the question mark button usually is on an English keyboard, but it wouldn't be the question mark symbol on the key. Mm-hmm. So you just have to know it was there. So it would fuck me up in a couple areas until I figured it out. Yeah. I was using it for a little bit, and it worked, so I didn't have a problem with it. Mm-hmm. And then I used Shimon lent me his computer, his laptop for for a semester. I did my whole Spanish 202 class on it, and it was funny. His computer that he lent me, he purchased a phone, an iPhone, and so it came with some Apple stickers, and it was a Lenovo silver computer, and he put the Apple sticker in the center of the computer when it's closed. He put it right in the center, so it looks like I'm using a Mac. As he lent it to me, and I'm like, this is funny. And so eventually I was in my Spanish class one time, and the teacher was like, okay, download this file and open it up. And I said, hey, professor, if I try to do that, my computer is going to crash. Mm-hmm. My computer could not handle what this task. And she said, oh, well, I have a computer that stopped working. That's got an issue if you want it. And I was like, yeah, I'd be interested in that. Mm-hmm. So I ended up following up with her. And she told me it's a Mac, and I was like, oh shit, okay. And she said, yeah, there was an issue with the charging port that you would need to get it fixed. It doesn't charge. I was like, okay. But she said, yeah, you can have it for free. If you want to get it fixed, it's worth it. I said, okay. So I ended up making a trip up north, got the computer. She left it in her mailbox. It didn't come with a charger, and came back down to South Jersey, took it to a computer shop. They charged me $180 to repair it. And then I purchased the charger on Amazon for $20.
Right.
And so I got my laptop a Mac which I wanted for $200.
It's funny how we're talking about this because Miranda was complaining because we have 2 MacBooks in our place right now, and the system's getting old. And I keep looking at like the new ones; they're like $3,000. I'm like,
Yeah,
Jesus
they're
Christ!
too expensive. I think they're like, yeah, depending on the storage you get in them,
Yeah,
right? Is that how it goes up?
yeah, but you can always purchase RAM. You can get an outside source of RAM, But
Yeah.
uh, I was thinking, I was like, couldn't we just update these things? Like mine's like a 2014. It's in great condition. It's just slow.
Yeah, yeah. If it's newer than because mine's a 2013, like mid
Hmm.
2013. I think it was like the cutoff date for the newest software was 2012.
Hmm.
So if it's newer than that, you should be able to update to the most current software. Plus, if your computers are slow, there are ways to like get rid of programs. Or if you just really want to get rid of everything and start fresh, you can save all your pictures and things that are important, put it on Google
Yeah,
Drive, put it in the cloud, whatever you
because
use, wipe it, and then re-upload it. And you could go to the newest software. I was shocked that this computer could handle the most current software, which is Big Sur, with no problem. And so that's
yeah,
what it is. It just updated like 2 days ago
hmm
and it works. So yeah, that's a way.
yeah. That's the thing that like, because I was like, well, maybe I could update that because I want to get a Microsoft Surface, even though like I'm all like Apple everything.
Yeah.
I think that would be great for my business though, because
Yeah.
I can like also design stuff on the tablet itself.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that with an
Yeah.
iPod.
An iPad is there's no keyboard. An iPad is not a computer. It's not a laptop.
Yeah, an iPad is something that I give Ellie or Xander and say, "Have a good day."
Yeah. Yeah. And be careful with that too. Too much electronics.
Yeah, we stopped that. Yeah, we're slowing down.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, she's watching Ryan now, but
Yeah.
that's because we're doing something.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, and like you said, back to the bed thing, there's actually studies that if you go 30 minutes without any electronics before bed, it helps
Hmm.
aid in your sleep.
Yeah, and you should do that once you wake up too. Is not touch your
Exactly.
phone.
Yeah,
I turn my alarm off, see what time it is, and then I chug 2 water bottles and then do my daily function.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
much better.
Hmm.
Yeah, I need to work on that. I remember setting a goal of trying to be off my phone for an hour after I first wake up, and then I kind of like regressed on that. So you
Hmm.
start with 30 minutes or something. Because like you get up, you look at your phone, gosh, you check your emails, you start scrolling. It's going to take you another 30
Get
minutes to get out of
lost.
bed.
Yeah.
Take me 30 minutes to get out of bed after. So like,
Yeah.
and yeah, some things you got to be aware of they're not for you. They're not helping.
Yeah.
And so once you notice those things, you can start to cut them out. This doesn't
Hmm.
serve me.
Yeah.
That's a big thing of like self-awareness is to be able to be aware of these traits, these things, these habits that I have, and these things that I do aren't serving me too well. Like they're not getting me to what I want.
Yeah.
And so it's a big thing. Self-awareness is a big part of the whole self-improvement spirituality game because
Hmm.
you can't change what you don't know, what you're not aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes like I'm guilty of like listening to stuff. Like I don't scroll on Facebook. I listen to YouTube when I first wake up to
Yeah.
catch me up on like, all right, what happened overnight with the stock market? Or like I'll listen to something like news related. Or on Mondays, it's usually like the mic'd up sessions from the past week of football.
Yeah.
So I listen to that while I brush my teeth, use the bathroom, do my beard oil and shit, and
Nice.
put my contacts in,
Yeah. Yeah.
stretch out a little bit.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's always important to have a routine.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. I'm really starting to be more aware of that. Um,
Hmm.
especially like morning and nightly routines.
Yeah.
Kind of like get you set up for the day
Hmm.
and help you transition into the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good
And
stuff.
it's funny because I was talking with somebody. I was talking with Ed, and um, I was like, yeah, like once I get up, like I have all my clothes ready. He's like, how ready are you with your clothes? I was like, dude, I pre-belt the night before. And
Yeah,
he's never heard of that. He's like, you pre-belt? And I'm like,
you
yeah,
pre-belt.
yeah, yeah. Because
That's
everybody
funny.
wakes up in the morning and then they put their belt on then. I'm like, no, my belt's already on my pants before I even
That's
leave my.
so great.
So all I do is just boop, boop, boop. See you later.
Yeah, that's so
Saves a
great.
lot of time because sometimes you fuck up and put it the raw opposite side. You got to unfold it the certain way and turn it, or you'll miss a loop so you look stupid the rest of the day.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's smart too.
Yeah.
Like it was an interesting thing that I came across. It's that like the people that end up wearing the same things every day or know what they're wearing and they don't have to think of what their outfits are going to be for the
Hmm.
day. There is a theory that people only have so many decisions they're able to make in a day. They
Yeah.
only have so much mental capacity on how many decisions they can make and actually like
Hmm.
critically think and whatnot before they're exhausted and everything.
Yeah.
And deciding what you wear is not the best use for
Hmm.
that critical thinking power. So if you got it set up, you know what you're wearing, there's no thought involved. If
Hmm.
your belt's already looped and you don't
Yeah.
have to think, is this the right way out or is it upside down? Is it the wrong
You
way?
know,
If I missed the loop.
the same guy I talked to you about with the percentages earlier about like he does all this stuff, and he says the best way to make a life decision under stressful moments. That's when your brain takes in the most information they possibly can.
Yeah.
And I've really noticed that. So then afterwards, you start getting burnt out and tired after that way because you're just taking in. It's when your brain's like so hungry for information.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in those situations. If you're doing it right, like your brain is discarding all the information that isn't necessary,
Hmm.
all the clutter, and you're like, all right, what's the most important thing here?
Yeah.
That take care of what's the second most important, and then you like reference it with your priorities
Hmm.
and what's going to get me where I want to be. Is this gonna? And then you play that situation out a little bit. You play the
Hmm.
other out a little bit. They say it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, because the brain can only take such a beating throughout the day. Like when I first got to college, my psych teacher, who was also like the freshman like organizer, like he had it was like its own little thing. It was a 1 credit course that they forced all the freshmen to take, and it's to prepare you.
yeah,
But he was also a psychologist, a psych teacher, and he was like, "I'm going to give you the best information, and it depends on you. But if I was you, I would take the information, and when you hit the ground running, just run with it. Your brain can take such a like can only take so much that when you're studying, that's when you fail. It's because you try to study for too fucking long. Your brain can only have the capacity of 45 minutes of studying in order to take in information. So after that, everything is just fucking useless.
wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's exactly how he said it. Just fucking useless. And I was like,
Everything's
college
fucking
is gonna be fucking crazy.
yeah. That's yeah, that's big. And like you, I think what did they say? Like 45 minutes on, like 10 minutes off, or something like
Yeah,
that. Because you can't study straight through.
no.
Can't.
And then I took that a lot because the most I listen to stuff is like for 45 minutes, and then I put it down and like get my dopamine from somewhere else and listening to something stupid or
Yeah,
something jokey, and
yeah,
then I'll get back into seriousness.
yeah. It doesn't all have to be serious.
Yeah, because I can't be serious all the time. I have to be a jokester. I'm still a child at heart.
Yeah. That's a much better way to be. And if you are
Yeah,
serious all the time, the
there's
aging
no
process
fun. You're not
speeds up.
living.
It's no
Yeah,
fun, and Yeah, I was in one of my classes that I took was interpersonal communications, and
Mm-hmm.
it talked about all the different roles a leader can play at different times.
Mm-hmm.
So one leader is like the analytical leader who analyzes stuff and says it's good or bad. One leader is like the what could go wrong leader, like how could this
Mm-hmm.
not work out well. But there is another leader who is the guy that makes the joke
Mm-hmm.
and that makes the room laugh. Because even in a war room where people are deciding like how to advance armies and what to focus on and the outcomes of their decisions, which are going to affect maybe
The eyeball's still on the roof, by the way.
from a week ago. That's really funny.
Told you guys.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. One of the leadership roles is the person who's able to make jokes. They're
Mm-hmm.
able to make light of a situation or maybe able to bring levity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can't be serious all the time. And even in
Nope.
the war room, my professor reminded us, like, even in that situation, they were making jokes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can't live serious all the time.
And it's no fun either. And now we see Xander.
Yeah.
That's so wonderful. What's up, little guy?
Yeah, sit on my Ellie wants to sit on my next leg.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, this is why I work so hard right here.
That's wonderful, man. That's really
Right.
and you're so proud of them, and you're
I
so
am.
proud of what you set up, and
Yeah.
it's just really awesome to see and to be a part of, like your little like auxiliary family. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how it was.
See, I like to think of myself as the Tom Brady of average Joes. All my successful points, my kids are right there by my hip at
Yeah,
all times.
yeah.
My success is their success, and their success is my success.
Yeah. That's really rewarding.
Yeah.
That stuff's really rewarding. So
Mm-hmm.
just to have them there, just to be with them, the joy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm really thankful that I get to be a part of your family.
Yeah.
Come over and enjoy your family life for like a day or for an afternoon. And
Mm-hmm.
it's great. Like I get a lot of joy from it too.
Yeah.
Hey Ellie.
Say hi, Uncle Doug. She's typing on the computer.
Oh, that's so funny. My mom is
To
gonna
play
be
with your
so
brother.
happy to watch this.
Yeah.
Every time I come over your place, she said, "Hey, can you get me some videos of Ellie? Give me some videos or some pictures." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try." I don't really try all that hard.
Yeah.
I
Well,
tell her she can go follow Miranda.
yeah, that's literally just gotta watch Miranda's
Just follow her on Snapchat. That's what
yep.
I tell her. Get notifications when she posts something, and then you
Yeah,
can
that's
see
all
this
it
little girl dancing around and what they did during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my mom loves being a mom. She's got this bunny that we took in. It's a wild bunny. You got to
Yeah,
see
she
it.
domesticated a wild bunny. I
That's
know.
right. Yep. Domesticated a wild bunny, which I don't know if it's illegal. I've heard it's not, so we're not gonna tell the wrong people. Um, but she's such a mother to this little rabbit. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll go see the rabbit, and the rabbit runs. Rabbit wants nothing to do with guys, apparently. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's such a motherly instinct
Can you
that
go play?
for me to try to go out of my way and take videos of Ellie while I'm at your place kind of takes away from my experience. Like I'm doing this for my mom, and
Yeah.
I don't want to I'm not interested in cataloging Ellie's development. She's already getting cataloged in so many ways. If I can get a video here or there, like on my own
Mm-hmm.
desire, I want to record something cool that her and I are doing, then I'll do that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not my nature to be a mother. To oh my god, let me video record this. Oh my, I'm not taking care of the bunny like my mom takes care of her. We got a lady who comes in, and my mom's friend, her name's Donna. She comes in and takes care of the bunny while my mom's away. And so Donna comes in, and my mom is like, first time she came in, my mom is like giving her a straight up orientation. And I'm like, she
Damn rabbit.
this. And I'm like, this is a little too much information for taking care of a bunny. Put out 4 things and fill the water dish. And then clean up the poop and do that once a day. Okay, I can do that. I swear to God, my mom's giving this lady like a 3-day orientation on how to care for the bunny, and it's gonna follow it up with a test at the end. Like, I swear, and she just came over the other day, and I was joking. I was like, "Oh, is she here for her orientation?" I mean, no, she's here for her, what is it? Her recertification. That's what it is. She's getting recertified to handle the bunny. Like, this is nuts.
It's funny because like how you're talking about rabbits. Like I had like a whole conversation with Miranda yesterday because after Eliana's gymnastics, she was gonna go help a friend. First off, her friend's never gonna hear this, so I can kind of talk down a little bit. Her friend and her friend's boyfriend are like 30 plus years old, right? They don't have no car. They live in a dump. And they're worried about spending top dollar because they have rabbits, and the rabbits had another litter that was a very poor litter. And this girl is calling Miranda, like just crying, like these bunnies are dying, which I get. I have a heart, all right, I get it. But like they shift their whole focus, like they live paycheck to paycheck. Like I don't want to say this to be mean, but like they blew their load to how far they can get into life. Like they're settled on where they're at and where they will be, and that's it. They're not going to grow anymore. Their mentality is not going to change. Like, and they're just sitting there, just crying about these rabbits. Both of them, 2 adults crying about these baby rabbits, just because they're dying because they're a poor litter. And I just sat there. We're buying them Dunkin' Donuts because we're trying to be nice people. We got them coffee. And I was like, man, I wish my worries is that I was 30 plus years old crying about a damn rabbit. Like, I'm worrying about how to be successful in life, take care of my kids, make sure they're healthy, planning on their future to help them have a great start in life. And they're just crying over rabbits.
Yeah.
And of course, Miranda slaps me and tells me to have a heart. But I'm just like, I'm serious. Like, you can't be an adult. Like, I get it. Like, trust me, when Max passes on, I'm going to cry. But that's a value to my family, you know? Like, he grew up with my kids. Like, no offense, damn rabbit's going to last only 3 years anyway.
Yeah, that and like the amount of like rabbits, the amount of litters that they have are nuts.
Yeah.
So like the saying,
the survival of the fittest. Like that's when it's going to kick in. Like I'll get that, but like, you know, like I'm not going to go out of my way and throw Max a whole damn ceremony on passing away.
Yeah.
Buy him like a $4,000 fucking casket, put him in and lower him down. Like these people were going ballistic and trying to spend top dollar to save these damn rabbits.
Yeah. Take them to the vet. Like let the bunnies eat, even if I don't.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's priorities. It's
they were losing sleep.
Yeah. It's
and calling out, like they called out of work just to fucking do that. And it's just like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Do they have kids or do they just have the
bunnies? No, that's it.
Bunnies, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
they're bartenders at a hole in the wall place.
Thank God they don't have kids. They're just worried about the bunnies.
Yeah.
But that's just a lack of priorities. That's wrong priorities. Like you need to, if you want to really take care of the bunnies, go out, go be successul, and then you can give a better life to the bunnies. Like, let them be. Let the bunnies be your reason to be successful. I need to be successful because these bunnies are depending on me.
Yeah.
If that's it, and if that pushes you, great.
Yeah. it just blew my mind that like these people who are in their mid-30s are just losing sleep over. I get it, they're pet bunnies, but like, shouldn't you be losing sleep that like you're living paycheck to paycheck? Shouldn't you be losing sleep that like you live in a shithole? Like, I don't want to be mean, but like they live in a shithole. Like Miranda didn't even go inside their house. She left the coffee outside, sent a picture to them, and said, "Hey, this is where your coffee's at. I just want to be nice," and we left. That's it.
Yeah, and you can't set somebody else's priorities for them.
No, I'm not going
can't,
out. I'm not losing sleep over that.
you
It just blew
can't
my
do it.
mind.
Even if you wanted to do it, you can't do it.
Well,
Even if
it's
you had a desire
determined
to
for them
really
how much
help
they
them
want
out,
to change. Yeah.
you can't do it. Like there was a saying, gentleman Akbar said this to me. He said, and it was like advice that was really tailored toward me. He said, you have to be very careful of helping people that don't want your help. And
Yeah.
it was like, it hit really hard because like I've had that habit of I really want to help people in the past and certain people wouldn't want my help. And it's
Mhm.
not, it's not beneficial. They don't want my help. And I'm like, why don't you want my help? I want to help you. I care about you. And they're like, no, leave me alone. Or no, I'm not looking for that.
Yeah.
And
I'll
so,
share information, but I'm not going to go unless you're in my close circle like you. I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm not going to drive 45 minutes to help you. You know, like I'm not going to lose sleep. Like unless you're close, like family, like you. That's it. That's all I'm going to do.
yeah.
I'm going to give you
And
information, and you run with it.
yeah. And that honestly, and that is doing enough for a lot of people. It's giving them the tools. It's giving them, hey,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think I should go about this situation? And you give them your perspective. And for some people, that's enough.
Yeah.
For some people, that's all they're asking for. They don't, maybe once in a blue moon, they need like something big. And then it's like under your discretion of I can do that or I can't do that. But
Yeah.
a lot of times if people are go-getters, if they're trying to improve themselves, they just need a helpful word or a pick me up or like just a
Yeah.
pat on the back and say, hey, you're doing a good job. Just keep it up. Sometimes we hit rough patches.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of times you don't really need to help. If somebody wants your help, it depends on how much they need, how much they're asking for. But if they're
Yeah. And
asking,
I'm not going to ask twice.
say
If
that
you
again.
say no, you don't need my. I said I'm not going to ask twice
Yeah.
because you're a grown ass adult. I'm not going to go out of my way and be like, "Hey, are you sure?" Like, if
Yeah.
you're going to say no, you're no. And if you want to say yes, you can say yes. That's
Yeah.
the problem in this world that there's like too much like, oh, gee, shuck, gee whiz, man. Like, no, it's can't do that anymore. You need to grow the fuck up. You need to use your words. Like, it's with that, I'm not going to ask you twice. And then there's another thing where I don't give advice for relationships anymore. It's how do you feel about it? And it's something that you're going to have to figure out. Weigh your pros and cons because with relationship, it goes through one ear out the other. I'm not going to sit here and talk 2 hours with you about a relationship and give you guidance on something, and then you're going to go completely the opposite way of what I just said because guess what? You followed your heart.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. I
Yeah.
will never feel how you love
Yeah.
or how Miranda loves or how my mom loves or shit, even how my dog loves. I don't know that. But everybody's mind can change in a snap of a fucking finger.
Yeah.
And you don't waste your time talking about that because they're grown ass adults. I'll be here for you if you need to talk about something and to vent, but I'm not going to give you like, all right, well, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
Just like how when you went through your situations, I never really went out of my way. I just said, hey,
Yeah.
what do you want?
Yeah.
Maybe you should do this, but that's all. That's totally up to you.
That's really funny. I've actually noticed that change a little bit. That change in
Mhm.
like approach.
Yeah.
Um, and I totally agree with you. Actually, that saves a lot of saves a lot of energy. It saves a lot of like a lot of words,
Hmm.
of things that do
Just that
go.
fallen victim to you a few times.
Yeah.
I told you to do this, and you went opposite way.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Like I just
people
said,
will
I'm
do
like,
that.
damn.
You can tell them, hey man, this may be your best route, but it might not be the best thing for them. Like they have to
Mhm.
decide it. It's like we can give them advice and let them know when something sounds fishy
Mhm.
or whatnot. But and especially a lot of times, especially if somebody's venting about relationships, they just want somebody to listen to them.
Yeah.
They're not a lot of times like they're not asking for advice. They have pent up energy that they're pissed off
Mhm.
about or something's going on that they need
Yeah.
to unload onto somebody else or to help spread out their load. And they're
Mhm.
just looking for somebody to talk to and vent to.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like I do, I'm still planning on being a life coach and running workshops and helping people at some point in life. So,
Mhm.
um, a lot of it is just listening. A large
Yeah.
majority of it is listening, and then I've noticed like certain times determining if people actually want solutions or they
Mhm.
just want to be heard.
Yeah. That's another thing with like when people pass away. I don't tell them of like, oh, you're so strong or you're gonna get through this because you don't know. So I just say, hey, you didn't lose a grandparent, you didn't lose a parent, you didn't lose a brother, you didn't lose a sister, etc. You gained an angel. You gained somebody who's going to be over your shoulders, who's going to tell you, hey, go this way, don't go that way.
Yeah,
They're going to be a life lesson for you in the future. It may not be tomorrow. It may not even be on your hardest fucking day, or it's not even going to be on your easiest day. It's just going to come at that random moment where you know that spirit is right there for you. That's
yeah,
what I tell every single person who loses somebody from now on. Because one, you don't know how that's going to affect them. Two, you don't know how they feel.
yeah,
Three, it's, words are not going to help people get over it.
yeah,
Guidance is just like knowing that that presence is going to be there.
yeah,
Kind of does that little like mother effect of a comfort zone. And
yeah,
when you tell someone that I've noticed that's been pretty helpful because you don't know what to say. You're like,
yeah. That's good.
hope you feel better, champ. Like that's not
Yeah,
the words that
yeah.
you want to hear.
Everything's gonna be okay. Just
Yeah, and it's not.
it takes a long time sometimes. It's
Yeah,
hey, just keep your head up, just keep moving. That may
and
not be the
people
best advice.
they
Take
don't
your
want to hear
time,
that. But
breathe.
every single person that I've told that to, it's been three people so far since I changed that mindset. And everybody just like they stop crying or they cry a little bit more and they're like, thank you.
Yeah,
That just helps a little bit. Just a little bit. That's all you're looking for.
yeah, yeah. You're right. That's a really valid thing too. I
Hmm.
like. I'm thankful you like. That's a good thing to share. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a very valid point.
Hmm.
People aren't really looking for. A lot of times, condolences don't hit the way we want it to hit. It doesn't.
Oh no. We fell on our back, so I needed to kiss it to make it feel better.
Yeah, I know how it works.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of times condolences don't land the way we want them to land.
Yeah.
Like we want the words we say to alleviate all the person's pain and them to go back to their happy selves. It doesn't work
Hmm.
that way. So
Yeah.
the way you phrased it is definitely a
Hmm.
nice solution. Like you gained an angel, you gained somebody who's got your back.
Yeah.
Can give you some guidance in a different way now.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's good, man.
Got to change the way you think sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Changing the way you think is a real benefit because it opens up new possibilities.
Yeah, and saying less with more an impactful meaning goes so much more of a long way.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
There's.
a hey, how are you doing? Could change somebody's fucking life.
Yeah.
Because that person you just said, hey, how are you? They could be planning to fucking kill themselves.
Yeah.
Like how many Vice stories have you listened to where that person's like, I was looking for somebody to just even break a smile before they try to commit suicide. You know?
Yeah.
A smile can change somebody's life. Like, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yep.
Can just change somebody's perspective
Yeah.
on life.
It's that, and then it's also like a good friend say like, "How you doing?" I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. It's like,
Yeah.
no, how are you really doing?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm struggling. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell me about it. Tell me about it, man. I'm here for
Hmm.
you. You know that.
Yeah.
And so, like that comfort, that support, the to be able to vent, to feel comfortable that you can vent,
Mhm. Yeah.
big deal. Really big.
Yeah. I'm an asshole, but I'm a thoughtful asshole, as I like to say.
Yeah, man. And you're also really caring and you're supportive and you're there for people when they need you.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm not gonna. A lot of people see a lot of people that we grew up with, like they kind of shit on people who try to make something of themselves, and I see myself as a
yeah,
complete opposite.
yeah,
Like if you're gonna like, even though like we never talk, or I thought you were an asshole in fucking school,
yeah,
and like never really came your way. If you're gonna do something that you think that you're proud of, that can change your life and makes you happier, I'm gonna support it. Hey, go out there and do that. Hey, if you want to do fucking hair, do hair. Congratulations, keep going. I'll support you. Miranda's always told me that I am literally your number one hype man, even for the gym that I'd taken you to that unfortunately closed down. Like I
yeah.
still talk to the guy to the day. Like
Right.
I promoted his gym and I didn't make anything from it. I got a free sponsorship for football, but
Yeah,
that's about it,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
But I'll always be your number one fan because, as Elon Musk said, we have these baby showers. Why can't we have a business shower? Hey, what do you need? Do you need like the credit card reader? Do you need this? Do you need that? Like I 100% support that because
it's awesome. A business
we're
shower.
a high
That makes
percent that
sense.
usually fails where the 1% succeeds over it. And all we have is each other.
Yeah,
Because with a small business, without you or without somebody down the street who needs it, who has a need, like we would be nothing.
yeah, yeah. That's actually a really valid point. Why don't they have business showers? I
Yeah,
need a credit card reader. I need a cash
yeah,
register.
yeah.
I'll make
I
the
mean,
wish
three
list.
people. Yeah, I mean, three people can go in on that. Like,
And people come through for you. It's valid. It's
or you treat it like like not even like a shower. You can kind of treat it like a wedding because you're marrying into into a business. Like that's going to be part of you. Like
it's
if you,
that.
it's
It's
going to
like
it's either you fucking sail or you sing because that's going to be attached to you. Because if you go bankrupt on it, it's going to be attached to you.
yeah,
So you gotta. It's literally you are married to that business.
yeah,
And what does a wedding do? What do you do there? You give them a gift and you give them money on
yeah,
top of that.
yeah,
So hey, say that you're running out of plates. You know, say that you're a clothing. Like we'll do an example. You're a clothing store.
yeah,
Kid from high school did it. All right, cool. Hey, me, you, Doug, and set person, we three of us can go have on a cash register or like a Microsoft Surface Pro that you can use as a cash register to be cheaper, you know, because you won't have to do as much maintenance on as a cash register.
yeah,
And, you know, it comes with its own card reader and everything.
yep,
Boom, we do that, and
yeah,
we each donate, say, 100 bucks or whatever we're financially capable of doing to pay your first fucking month or 2 months of rent. You know, everybody donates like 50 bucks or 100 bucks and pay their first month of rent for them to keep renting out and be successful.
yeah, yeah. I think that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, especially the wedding or the baby shower path, because like it is like it's like you're having birth. You're creating something new, something infantile.
Yeah.
It's just it's just getting its legs. You barely learning to crawl. It's just starting to understand the world.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to create a business, and it's like a little baby.
And if you get behind in this world, it's going to punch you right in the fucking face. And a
Yeah,
lot of people can't get up.
you get behind.
Yeah. If you get behind, life's going to punch you right in the face. And you're going to be
Yeah,
like, damn, I'm going to have to go 12 rounds of this shit. But if you had a security blanket that people put up for you for a little bit to help you keep afloat to
yeah,
where you're making positive income, so you're not struggling the first few months and you're set for month 3, month 4, and then et cetera, you know?
yeah,
Because that's where people get scared is that they don't see that positive income come in. They're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then they freak out and they bite off more than they can fucking chew. Because then they're like, what can I think of to help profit more income? Like, what can I do to get the public to see more of an eye of my store? Like, blah, blah, blah. Then you start spending more money and now you're the ditch in the shovel effect comes in, because how much can you fill your hole, aka the fucking the debt, how much you're shoveling in, which is your income, you know?
Yeah. It's like, how much can you shovel out while somebody else is pouring more in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where because sometimes you're your own worst enemy, because you try to spend more to benefit others to come in and market it more. Like Facebook, all you had to do is set a $10 fucking limit. I mean, just with my business alone, I reached over 14,000 people.
Did you?
All I spent was $27.
Yeah.
Yeah, just mouth and word, man.
Yeah.
Business cards, taking time out on a Saturday, knocking on people's door, because I'm a very personal person.
That's great.
I come in, hey, nice yard. I could do this, I could do that. The future stuff for this, I offer this. Give a business card. Here you go.
Yep.
My name's John. You know, nice to meet you. Have a great day.
That's awesome.
20 minutes later, call. Hey, when are you first doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing? Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Can you come by later today?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then the neighbors, like I do my friend's Matt's dad's house. Neighbor tree falls. We get that, you know? Like other people see me out there doing that. Oh, can you do this? Yeah, I can restructure your whole front yard for you if you want. Okay, cool. And then that neighbor sees you doing that, and it just jumps and jumps and jumps and jumps.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Like,
yeah.
It's big. Question: did you get an LLC for your business?
Yeah.
You did. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned at one point during the conversation, if the business goes bankrupt, a lot of times the person's stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have an LLC and your business goes bankrupt, it's just your business. They're not taking your stuff. If your truck or if your things aren't in the business, they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times that's one of the things that they tout is that businesses are important, because if it was a sole proprietorship, they come after like your stuff, your truck, or
because if God forbid someone slips on something that you're trying to do,
they slip, or even if you like get into an accident in the business's like in the business vehicle, quote unquote, sole proprietor, they can come after your lawn equipment to sell that to recoup like damages.
Yeah.
It's not enough. So yeah, whatever it is, like in Robert Kiyosaki's books, they call it piercing the corporate veil. And so what it does is like the corporate veil kind of like shields the stuff. So if you become good at business, or if you get more advanced, which I'm sure at some point you'll hit this level, all your stuff ends up being in the business. So it's like your vehicles are in the business.
Yeah, and that's why you write off the most.
Your home is in the business, or your home is in a trust when the trust is owned by the business. Or the trust is the beneficiary of the trust is the business. And so there's like a couple ways that really kind of protect you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great things that it does, but part of it, it's called the corporate veil. So if your business is kind of like an umbrella, that like there was a story referenced in one of the books where the daughter of a mom and pop business got into a drunk driving accident. And as a result, because they weren't set up as an LLC and they weren't structured properly, so that the victims of the drunk driving accident came after the mom and pop business, as well as the building that the mom and pop business owned, plus like other things. And their lives were ruined because the daughter got into a drunk driving accident.
Yeah.
As if the corporate veil, if the business was properly set up, girl would have been in the drunk driving accident, insurance would have covered it, but they can't attack or go after the house or the business or the livelihood to the extent that they did.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the concept, but it's good stuff.
You always got to cover your ass, and you write off everything.
And then that's the next aspect. And
like my truck is written off.
You write off gas, you write off repairs. It's a work vehicle, and then all that goes off the taxes that you pay.
Yeah.
And then that's another aspect of owning your own business. You get to be in charge of. You get to pay less in taxes. Like it's fucking wild. Warren Buffett says that his secretary pays a higher tax rate than he does.
Yeah, because he can write off more.
He can write off so much more. He's like, people out there pay much more in taxes than I do, and I make billions of dollars.
But Jeff Bezos pays nothing because he contributes too much to the economy.
Nothing. And then, like, the fact that they can play their games and have businesses in the Cayman Islands, and like give that all their intellectual property, run one company where it's losing money, whereas the parent company is making a fuck ton of money. It's bizarre. I mean, it's its own system, so you gotta know how the system runs, and then you gotta play it to your advantage.
Yeah,
just how things go.
It's crazy. I mean, people get mad over that, and like I saw a girl on Facebook complain about, oh, he makes $2,000 like a second, and people don't see how that's wrong. Well, the guy busted his ass. Like he has to do so much that people don't see. You just think of him as a billionaire, but he's a billionaire for a reason. I mean, he did the whole dirt running his company out of his garage to where it got there. He just hit a gold mine of supply and demand.
Yeah, man. And he probably deserves what he's made. And the conversation goes back to the haves and the have-nots.
I think he does. I think he deserves everything. That's my personal opinion.
He deserves it, but then at the same time, like the amount of people he could really help, like with his money and his connections and his ability, could like really change a vast amount of lives.
But how much more can you personally do?
Well, you know, and so long because money can do a lot if it's got the right channels and the right people behind it doing certain things. I just listened to another podcast where the gentleman was doing a like helping the forgotten people, quote unquote, and it was like people in Africa and people in South America. I think it was mostly Africa, where they're people that have just been screwed over, and corporations have like taken over their land. And they don't have access to clean water. They're living with parasites and they're dying of hunger. And people just don't care. And it took them like $70,000 or some. It was like a small amount. Can't get quoted on that. But it was a small amount of money to bring clean water to the village.
Well, here's the thing. It's where donations becomes a murky water, especially in my opinion.
Yeah.
You got to think how much the United States, other countries have donated, and their citizens personally have donated to these said countries. How does Akon go in within the past 8 years? Has done more than any of these donation charities has ever done. I mean, he's brought clean water, he's brought electricity, he's building a city.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, a person can do way more, you know, but how much more can a set person do?
And Akon is a prime example of doing it the right way.
Yeah, he does it himself because you don't know, like these nonprofit organizations.
Dude,
somehow the chair people are still racking in millions of dollars. Like
oh my god, dude, I saw
like the NCAA. How are they a nonprofit organization? But the other people
used to be a nonprofit.
Yeah, but they're making 43. Their chairmen are making $40+ million a year.
It was bizarre.
While everybody else makes nothing.
That was before
volunteer
private. Like the only reason we know that the chairman makes 40 something or 50 million a year, like at one point, was because it had to be shown because it was a nonprofit.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Christ, Roger Goodell's making what, almost 60 million a year?
Is he up to 60? Yeah, I bet
almost damn near it.
Yep. The last time I checked, it was like low 50s, like 50.
Yeah, like 52.
Yep. But yeah.
So that's gonna go up every year.
Yeah. And like that's a perfect example of helping in the right way. Like I think a lot of the money that we do get doesn't get used in the right way, or it gets siphoned off and like cut off the top from the way it goes down, and then might not even be used in the most efficient manner. So it's kind of a waste. Like companies like the Susan G. Komen breast cancer awareness is a fucking scam. Like the amount of money they bring in versus the awareness that they attract is fucking bizarre. It doesn't even help. Their money goes to breast cancer awareness, very small amount of their money goes to research and development. So they'll host huge galas and bring in so much money. Dude said he could forget, there was a video. The dude could buy a Lamborghini, which that's the Lamborghini, crash it, get his whole body fixed surgically, buy another Lamborghini, crash that, do the same thing, buy a plane ticket, go here, go back, and he still would have spent less money than they do on an event in 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, take example, LeBron James. He's a great athlete. He's set to be, I think, in the next 2 months, set weeks, he's going to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
And I mean, he has his own foundation. He has a school that sends kids for free to college, everything else. So he has a pipeline that helps kids. People still call for more. How much more can you possibly do? Because you also have to think, the more money you make, the more assets that you have to pay for. Still has to pay his bills. Still has to pay his insurance. Still has to pay for his kids to do something. Still has to save money.
In all honesty, he's never going to have a problem paying his bills or paying his insurance.
You never know what happens. What if he gets sued one day? You never know. You could say that about Michael
His
Vick
lawyers
went broke.
are too good.
Yeah. Who else went broke? Allen Iverson went broke.
Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, I think, was on that list. Or the amount of and that's through.
And you got to think, Michael Vick is the only person in NFL history to sign 2 contracts that are over 200 million plus.
Yeah.
And he went broke.
That's right.
You never know. That's $500 million.
And that's a thing and that goes to lack of financial intelligence.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you don't know how to spend your money. You're not getting the right advice, or the advice you're getting is bad advice. So you're losing it. Families coming, friends are asking. And
the other day, I heard T-Pain was so damn broke, he had to ask friends that he gave money to for money to buy Burger King for his kids.
Yeah.
Think about that. And he's been a songwriter, producer. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that about T-Pain.
Yeah, well, I mean, he went broke because of bad investments.
Yeah.
He said he got into some property that percentage-wise was hurting him more than profiting. So,
yeah.
But I mean, he's rich now because him and Birdman just settled a lawsuit that paid him out 150 mil.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, financial intelligence is important. LeBron definitely has financial intelligence. If you make it to $1 billion, you have to have it. If you don't have it, then there's a saying. It says if you go into a deal, person with experience and there's a person with money, the person with the money leaves with experience, and the person with the experience leaves with the money.
Yeah.
So you gotta grow. It's a process. Yeah, man. It's a pleasure talking to you like this.
Oh yeah, it's always a good time.
It's great.
Get lost.
Yeah.
How long have we been on for?
We're up to 2.5 hours.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Shit.
So I mean, time flies. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy I got to have you on, and I'm excited for a lot of people to listen to what we talked about, because the reason I started this podcast was because I'd have a lot of conversations like this that I'd want to be recorded. And yeah, just an example, or just a great opportunity to have more of these conversations, and a lot of great people.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can shed some light on making sure people are not scared if they have this dream, that they need to stop dreaming and take that step forward.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people fail at that first step, as I said.
Yeah. The reluctance to take an action is a big one.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that myself. I'm about to go buy some Dogecoin right now.
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin.
It's so funny because that guy made it as a joke. It's a damn meme of a dog.
Yeah, that's right.
And always write down your password. Don't be like that guy who has $222 million in the bank from Bitcoin, but doesn't know his password to sign in because you only get 10 tries.
There was like a joke about that in one of the episodes of Silicon Valley TV show where the dude had like fucking millions and tons, like hundreds of millions of dollars, and it was on a USB, and it was in some jeans that he threw away, and now he's looking through this landfill.
Yeah, you're done after that.
to try to find this USB and some jeans, and he's like, "Oh, it was a riot." But
I want to know what happens to those funds if you can't access them. Are they just there forever?
I guess they never.
Can someone buy that as like an auction type of thing?
No, nobody can buy that because it's not theirs. You can't sell it because you don't have access to it.
But who owns it? As a company? Because if it's investing, does the company own it? Does a bank own it?
I guess it depends on the platform you buy it on. But if platforms like that where they lock you out after so many tries, you're just locked out of your money.
Yeah. Couldn't you go to court for that to like prove that that's you?
Maybe you bring them to court. I don't know. You bring them to court with money you don't have.
Show your bank account that is you.
Try.
Show that your bank statements that it was you.
It's tough if the people who set it up have no way of breaking into it.
Yeah. That sucks. I don't even know how I would live with myself.
You're shit out of luck. Yeah.
Well, I make the same password for everything.
I know, and that's the wrong way to do it. And I've slowly changed mine. Actually, one of the things that I did. Have you ever had your identity stolen?
No, I've had my card stolen a few times, but not my identity.
Okay. I've never had my identity stolen, thankfully. But one of the things.
Well, Capital One gives me that option. Yeah. If like my social security number is used or.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they've gotten a lot better at it over the years.
I had a warning the other day that my one email is on the black market. That was like a warning. What the fuck? Yeah. So I changed the password to that.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah, definitely do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. After the credit reports, the credit agencies got hacked. I watched a news segment with John Oliver, and he talked about putting a credit freeze, which was you call the credit rating companies like Experian and TransUnion. Then you tell them you want to put a freeze on your credit report or your credit. So anybody who tries to open a credit card or a mortgage can't do it because there's a lock on it. There are no new credit applications that can be done. And like I got on my own phone plan like 3 months ago. And so like I was trying to set it up and they're like, okay, well, we can't right now because we can't run your credit or we can't like we can't do it in your name because we need to, I guess, see if you're worthy or you're able to support something like this. Whatever they had to do, they needed to check my credit and they couldn't. So I had to
good.
I had to call the credit rating company and get them password, and then they unlock it. You can choose, but I told them to unlock it for like 7 days. And then the phone company was able to go in, check my stuff, and then get me set up with my own plan.
Yeah, you should always put a freeze to your credit when you're thinking about buying a house.
Yeah.
So they said that's the best time to do it. Because then if you get that temptation of like, say you're like, oh my God, I just got a Discovery card thing that I got free approved for. And you get that itch like, oh man, I always wanted that.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't fuck up because you don't want to add any more onto your credit report.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's actually that's an interesting point. Like we were talking about beds a little bit ago. I was looking last night of purchasing a queen size bed. Because I'm on a full right now, and it would be a little bit longer, be like 5 inches longer and 6 inches wider. So I'm like, that'd be nice. I mean, I don't need the room, but I'm like, the idea is attractive.
You always need the room.
Yeah. I might do it now then. So I was looking was doing it for cheap, and like I could probably get it all for like $200. Mattress, box spring, frame, and then sheets. So I was thinking about it, and I was also thinking like, well, do I need that? I mean, what I really need, what I should be doing is taking care of future me, taking care of future me's needs financially. Sure, I can do this stuff, and I wouldn't pay all that much. It would probably be a good way to do it, but like I need to get focused in other areas and use the bed as like a delayed gratification reward, where I need to buy and sell 5 different stocks before that. And then that would be okay. Now I'm able to do what I want to do with like bed, but it was my reward for pushing myself a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Smart way.
Delayed gratification can be good.
Yeah. It's always good to rethink everything.
Oh, all right. So we've been on here for about 2.5 hours. More.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired.
Trump is acquitted by the Senate, by the way.
Say that again.
Trump has been acquitted.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Hey Miranda.
I have my beats in, so she can't hear you.
Yeah.
Let's said hi.
Hi, Dudley.
Hey.
I can't hear you.
That's okay. All right, man. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
It was a pleasure talking to you too.
It really is.
I'll be back.
Yeah. No, you will be. You will be.
I'll be like the Elon Musk of your, like, as Joe Rogan is.
Yeah. And
Elon Musk is on his channel.
Yep. I love it too. I'm excited to have you. Excited to have more great talks like this.
Maybe we could do an in-person one.
Yeah. I'll plan that up. I got to get some different mics. I got to get the right setup, but we can definitely do that.
Sounds good.
Cool, man. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
All right, buddy.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you.
All right. Peace out, brother.
See you.